Chapter 101, 150 million days of bronze-level cultivation? Sir, please come inside to discuss. A server hurried up and respectfully led Yang Wu into a reception room. Inside, the seated elder, about 2.6 meters tall, his face marked with red and blue patterns, stood up with a smile. Respected guest, I hear you want to sell a third-tier primal weapon? This elder was an astral rank 6 powerhouse, an almost invincible figure on the planet. Yes, Yang Wu nodded slightly. What kind of primal weapon is it? The elder asked. Yang Wu flipped his hand and the azure dragon blade appeared. The elder's eyes lit up the moment he saw it. This is an azure dragon blade. In ordinary psychic weapon shops across the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, an azure dragon blade is normally quoted at 21 billion Black Dragon coins, Yang Wu said. Producing a finished psychic weapon is one thing, making a usable imitation is another. Generally, only World Lord rank powerhouses could barely imitate third-tier primal or psychic weapons, and only Undying level experts could truly create them. The trade in counterfeit and reproduced weapons had always been a lucrative business. For instance, the sky-piercing shuttle was created by Hu Yanbo. The Azure Dragon Blade, however, was not. The sky-piercing shuttle was relatively rare in the universe, while the Azure Dragon Blade was a common third-tier item, so this Qibao shop must have its own secret method for handling and selling them. A green light swirled around the Azure Dragon Blade. The elder inspected it and smiled. This is a standard Azure Dragon Blade. The materials are excellent and the blade is unblemished. I can offer you an acquisition price of 16 billion Black Dragon coins. 18 billion, no less, Yang Wu shook his head. 18 billion? The elder studied him. This young man seemed unusually savvy about their business. Sourcing these weapons was difficult and time-consuming. Counterfeits had to be produced by world lords or acquired through other costly channels, so buying in would easily cost the shop more than 18 billion. The elder weighed it, then nodded. Deal. Let's draw up the contract. Yang Wu finally allowed himself a small smile. Both parties signed. Because Yang Wu didn't have a bank card, he requested a new account with Universe Galaxy Bank. The transaction completed quickly. The Azure Dragon Blade went to the Qibao shop, and 18 billion Black Dragon coins were transferred to Yang Wu. This bank card is incredible, Yang Wu murmured as he examined it. It bonds to a spiritual imprint, so only the original owner can use it. Even if someone else gets the card, they can't use it. That made it far more secure than any password. Everyone's spiritual imprint was unique. Universe Galaxy Bank was a super bank spread across the universe. In the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, it only served customers whose deposits exceeded 100 million Black Dragon coins. With 18 billion in his account, Yang Wu was comfortably a customer. Back at the shop, the Qibao elder offered him a membership card with a smile. Mr. Yang Wu, this is our shop's membership card. It gives a 2% discount. We rarely issue them. I understand, Yang Wu replied. The elder, knowing Yang Wu now had 18 billion in his account, naturally hoped he would spend it there. But Yang Wu had no intention of buying treasures right now. His money was earmarked for buying slaves and training them, investments to raise cultivation levels, not trinkets to strengthen a few earthlings like Luo Feng with Bibo Marrow. Maybe he'd splurge later, if he ever had spare cash. Yang Wu bought 2 Luyan guards and headed to the slave market. As far as I know, a planetary level 9 slave costs around 30,000 Black Dragon coins, he thought as he walked. 18 billion seemed like a huge sum, but at 30,000 apiece, it would only buy about 600,000 planetary level 9 slaves. Human and monster race slaves were probably priced similarly. According to the system's usual behavior, each planetary level 9 from a monster race might grant about 256 days of bronze-level cultivation. If that held, Yang Wu realized, 18 billion Black Dragon coins could indirectly be exchanged for 153,600,000 days of bronze-level cultivation. 153,600,000 days. That was an almost unimaginable amount. Still, in the grand scheme, it might not be enough. To pass the Talent War preliminaries, one needed to comprehend at least the 9th level of a domain. To represent the Gamwu Universe country in the finals and rank among the top 1,000, entering the threshold of laws was almost a must. The universe-wide top 1,000 required even more. Domains themselves were notoriously difficult to comprehend. Some universe-rank powerhouses struggled to grasp them. So reaching that level with just a few 100 million days of bronze-level cultivation was unrealistic. I need cultivation, so I need money, Yang Wu told himself and shook his head. I need a massive amount of money. The Luyan guards weren't particularly valuable, only about 280 million black dragon coins. He'd need something far bigger to fund his plans. The automaton race spaceship or the Zerg mother nest would be ideal sources of wealth. But how could he acquire either ahead of time? The Black Dragon Mountain spaceship was valuable, but selling it would leave him stranded. Besides the soon-to-be-born Golden Horn beast, the two most valuable assets on Earth were that automaton ship and the Zerg mother nest, neither easy to obtain. The slave market sprawled over 300 kilometers. If it were on Earth, it would be a colossal city, but on Chulong Star, it was only one district of Chulong City. It was the largest slave market in the region, drawing customers from hundreds of nearby star systems, and it was packed. These Tialuo people are incredibly strong. They might not understand cultivation, but each one is comparable to an apprentice level 9 warrior, a vendor shouted. Only 20 black dragon coins each. Buy more and get a discount. A commotion of hawkers and sellers tried to attract customers with enthusiastic pitches. Apprentice level 9? On Earth, that would be akin to an advanced war god. 20 black dragon coins each? Spend 100 million and you'd get 5 million advanced war gods. There was a dizzying mismatch between cost and value here. In Yang Wu's eyes, an apprentice level 9 equaled about 256 days of black iron level cultivation, which wasn't bad on its own, but black iron level cultivation was almost useless to him at this point. Those below planetary level can't be citizens, so their prices are very low, Yang Wu muttered to himself. Nearby, a sultry voice called out, 5,000 black dragon coins each, first-class beauties, discount for bulk purchases. A group of stunning women stood in the distance. Different races, different features, fair-skinned beauties, fluffy-tailed girls, cat-eared maidens, even some who resembled earthlings. Any one of them could topple kingdoms if paraded on Earth. But what would Yang Wu do with concubines or beauties now? And they were expensive. He shook his head and continued deeper into the market, his mind already calculating how best to turn 18 billion into as much cultivation as possible. Yang Wu leaned toward another display. Intense auras rolled off it. Planetary level 6th, 7th, and even 8th and 9th rank martial artists and psyker masters stood there. Only a few were planetary 3rd or 4th rank. Yet some of those present radiated power comparable to Luo Feng, Hong, or Thunder God. 5,000? 8,000? That planetary level 8th rank is 20,000? Planetary level 9th rank is 30,000, and a planetary level 9th rank Psyker Master is 100,000. Yang Wu read the price tags. 100,000 black dragon coins for a planetary level 9th rank Psyker Master, practically invincible on Earth. Planetary levels are mostly bodyguards or servants. They aren't that useful. He shook his head. In this universe, astral rank was the preferred tier for true bodyguards and retainers. Below planetary level, slaves cost only about 10 black dragon coins. Planetary level ran around 10,000. Astral rank jumped to roughly 100 million. They moved on to an even larger square where 18 figures stood. One martial artist or psyker master at each astral rank from 1st through 9th, both martial and psychic. 18 astral rank slaves in all, each with its price. All of them were actively projecting their auras, showing their strength. The astral rank 8ths and 9ths were far stronger than the Golden Horn beast had seemed. The gathered pressure of their auras made Yang Wu involuntarily shudder. "They're very strong," he murmured. Level transcendence was a leap in life. The higher you went, the more dramatic the jump. If a planetary 1st was only a few times stronger than an apprentice 9th, then an astral 1st could be more than 10 times a planetary 9th. Universe rank 1st outstripped an astral 9th. The gaps widened the higher you climbed. That explained why, in the original tale, Hong and Thunder God, even at planetary 7th and 8th and exhausted to their cores, initially couldn't break the Golden Horn beast's scales, and it took Hong's final surge to do it. The beast was simply too strong, and the threshold between astral and planetary was enormous. Each of these 18 slaves had a far heftier aura than Yang Wu had expected. An astral 7th or 8th pulled out would sweep the entire Earth. He scanned the prices. Astral First is only 1 million, about 33 planetary ninths. But how much cultivation would an Astral First drop if killed? He queried the system. The answer arrived fast. The cultivation drop wasn't Silver Tier as he'd guessed, it was Bronze Tier. An Astral First would yield 2,560 days of Bronze-level cultivation, an Astral Second, 5,120 days. The price ratio was steeper than the cultivation yield. Astral First cost roughly 33 times a planetary ninth, but gave only 10 times the cultivation, so the cost performance wasn't great. Astral Fourth is 20 million? Astral Seventh is 500 million, Yang Wu muttered. Astral Eighth is 2 billion, Astral Ninth is 5 billion. He shook his head at the staggering quotes. Psyker Masters were priced at roughly 3 times the martial artists of the same rank. Sir, are you interested in these astral slaves? A square manager hurried over when he noticed Yang Wu's Lu Yin guards. The man assumed Yang Wu was a big buyer. I already have astral slaves, Yang Wu said with a smile. I heard last time on Chulong Star there were universe-rank slaves for sale. He didn't hide his purpose. I need hundreds of thousands of planetary level 9th rank monster race slaves, or slaves from other alien races. Do you have that quantity here? Yang Wu's gaze sharpened. He preferred not to kill people for cultivation unless absolutely necessary, but destroying an undying monster race could yield enormous numbers of monster race from its divine kingdom. Powerful captors might have also raided deep into demon race territory to procure slaves. He didn't care how they'd been obtained. He cared about killing monster race to gain cultivation. Monster race slaves? Hundreds of thousands? The manager's face lit up. This way, please. In a spacious reception room, a virtual projection unfolded before Yang Wu, listing dozens of slaves with appearance, height, strength, race, and price. 10,000. Psyker Masters are 3 times the price of martial artists, Yang Wu observed as he scanned the catalog. These were standard listings. Only a few specials fluctuated. I'll take this one, this one. He pointed, and the manager dutifully noted each selection. Noted. The manager's excitement was obvious. Such a business would mean a hefty commission. Yang Wu tilted his head. What's the biggest discount you can give me? 10% off, the manager said, proud. That's the absolute maximum. Yang Wu gave a slight nod and a soft laugh. Larger transactions allowed larger cuts here. In the original account, he'd been offered only 5% before. 10% might already be generous. All right, throw in an Astral 7th rank martial artist, Yang Wu added. An Astral 7th would act as a safeguard, a backup in case the Golden Horn Beast situation shifted. The manager's face froze. Sir, we've already applied a discount. His color drained. An Astral 7th is worth 500 million Black Dragon coins. I can't just give it away. You're asking for my life. One price. Yang Wu's voice was calm. 18 billion Black Dragon coins, plus the Astral 7th I asked for. Sweat beaded on the manager's forehead as his mind ran numbers like a machine. He ground his teeth and, after a tense moment, agreed. Even with the concession, the deal would earn him a substantial sum, most of which would go up the chain. Very well, he nodded repeatedly. 700,000 planetary level 9th rank monster race slaves, plus an Astral 7th rank martial artist. No problem, he produced the contract. But first, you'll need to sign and pay a deposit of 180 million Black Dragon coins. Chapter 103, Demon Slaves are obtained. Please subscribe. Understood. Yang Wu nodded. I'll tell you when to send the slaves to the planet's docking port. We'll complete the transfer there. Of course. The man in charge smiled broadly. Hundreds of thousands of slaves. This was no small order, and most transactions of this scale were finalized at the planet's docking port. Yang Wu nodded slightly. Over 700,000 monster race slaves. The Black Dragon Mountain ship could never hold so many. The only practical option was to process them on the spot and bring them under Yang Wu's control at bronze-level cultivation. Yang Wu already knew the essentials about slave implants. Slaves had biological chips fused into their brains. Once implanted, they could not be removed. The chips made them absolutely loyal to whoever held their ownership recognition. Destroying the chip meant destroying the brain, which was almost always fatal. Only a domain lord, whose soul could leave the brain, could destroy the implant from the inside. With a biological chip in place, a slave's maximum attainable strength capped at universe rank 9. The Yunmo planet secret method, the soul imprint, could even control undying powerhouses, but that kind of secret art was the stuff of legend and not handed down lightly. They met in a luxury private room on the 6th floor of a restaurant about 3 kilometers outside the North City Gate. Mr. Yang, this is our supervisor for this region of Chulong Star, the sharp-nosed handler said respectfully. In the room stood a lean man with green hair and unusually long ears. 2 large, black uniformed bodyguards flanked him. Mr. Yang, those 2 are Astral Rank 9 Psyker Masters, and Wula here is an Astral Rank 3 Psyker Master. Babata's earlier briefing echoed in Yang Wu's mind. As the supervisor responsible for this area and for so many slaves, it made sense he'd have strong protection until the sale was complete. Hello, Mr. Yang. I'm Wula, the green-haired man said with a practiced smile. Mr. Wula, a pleasure. If there's nothing else, let's depart, Yang Wu said. The customer's wish is our command. Wula bowed slightly. The transport is already waiting outside the city. Incoming universe rank ships must use the docking port on Chulong Star, though residents could keep ships in their own estates. Major slave merchants with close ties to the planet often kept warships and transports docked nearby. A large transport hovered just outside the city. Mr. Yang, please. Wula led the way aboard. They entered a spacious reception hall. Servants immediately began bringing an array of delicacies from across the region. May I ask, Mr. Yang, where are you from? Wula asked, curious. Sorry, I cannot disclose that, Yang Wu replied. Oh, my apologies. Wula blinked, then recovered his smile. Big clients like this were rare. A deal worth billions attracted every sort of emphasis and courtesy. Slave merchants were merciless toward slaves, but supremely respectful to buyers. The ship has arrived at the planet's docking port, a ship-wide announcement rang out. Mr. Yang, the ship is docked. Wula stood. Then let's begin the transfer. Because this is the highest recognition authority, these slaves will be transferred out of our merchant system. From now on, all control rights belong to you, Mr. Yang. Changing a slave's ownership recognition will take a bit of time. Understood. Yang Wu's anticipation rose. More than 700,001 planetary level 9 monster race slaves would soon be his. The cargo warehouse they entered was roughly 1,000 meters across. It was packed wall to wall with planetary level monster race beings. Mr. Yang, allow me to explain some features of this warehouse, Wula began. The structure is solid, built from starship wreckage. It's comparable to a defensive hull. It won't be damaged even by powerful shocks. Yang Wu heard the sales pitch but knew the truth. It was assembled from B-class ship wreckage, so it was sturdy enough. They moved deeper into the hall. The slaves stood in disciplined ranks, some bulky, some lithe, many imposing. Without being told, one couldn't tell they were slaves. After all, the weakest here were planetary-level monsters, comparable to beast emperors on Earth. Mr. Yang, please stand at the front, Wula instructed. The process will take a while. Yang Wu stepped to the front and surveyed the gathered slaves, 700,001 planetary level 9 monster race individuals. The closest was an astral rank 7 human slave. A strange electronic chirp sounded. Instantly, the slave's eyes seemed to dim. In a corner, Wula's men busied themselves with the instruments. One device pointed toward Yang Wu, registering his information. Minute by minute, the machines worked. Gradually, the dullness left the slaves' eyes, and their expressions cleared. After about 20 minutes, a chorus rose through the hall. Master! In perfect unison, the 700,001 slaves bowed slightly, voices ringing with deep, automatic respect. Mr. Yang, Wula approached, carrying a small silver box, his face an obliging smile. It's done. Inside are 700,001 control terminal microchips, one for each slave. He opened the box to show the rows of tiny modules. Each chip is an auxiliary optical computer used for administrative functions. I've included an information storage card with detailed operation instructions. Yang Wu nodded. Babata had already explained the system to him. I'll transfer the payment now, he said. After wiring the balance to the merchant's account, Wula brightened. Mr. Yang, it's been a pleasure doing business with you. He handed over a business card. This is my virtual universe network number. If you ever need more slaves, contact me. I'll always give you the best discount. Very well. Yang Wu took the card and turned back to the ranks of slaves. A peculiar smile touched his lips as he looked over the 700,001 bodies now under his recognition. Chapter 104, A Huge Amount of Cultivation. Please subscribe. My head still hurts from acknowledging a master. Looks like our new master is powerful and well-connected. Maybe life will get better now. Yeah, anyone who can buy so many slaves must be loaded. The slaves whispered among themselves, ignorant of what was about to happen. The biological control chip was cheap to produce, but unbelievably advanced. Rumor had it, the humans had captured the technology fighting the automaton race. Once implanted, the chip enslaved a person utterly. They kept their memories, but their heart and will bent completely to their master. Any thought of disobedience was met instantly by countermeasures from the chip. Across the vast universe, for countless years, no slave fitted with such a chip had ever successfully rebelled. Only a domain lord could resist those countermeasures. The chip's strongest failsafe was to detonate the head. A domain lord could even survive head destruction. Let's try one, Yang Wu said casually, plucking a chip from the pile and starting the activation. A monster race slave, caught in the crossfire, immediately self-destructed. Its head exploded. Yang Wu frowned. The self-destruction didn't yield cultivation for him. I thought it would be easier, he muttered, shaking his head. Without the Azure Dragon Blade, already sold, he resorted to raw force, a crushing punch that obliterated a planetary-level rank 9 monster race. The system notification popped up, killed a planetary-level monster race, dropped bronze-level cultivation for 256 days. The slaves stood frozen, unable to resist Yang Wu's commands, eyes wide. Killing them one by one felt slow to him. He gestured, and primal force condensed into streaks of blade light. Backed by his enormous primal force, fierce rays of pale yellow cut through the dim warehouse, forming a surging ocean of killing intent. The light hissed like wind through bone. To every monster race present, it felt like a monstrous hand squeezing their chests. The blade light swept like lightning. Clang! Yang Wu moved without looking, relentless, driving forward until the last of them fell. Heads separated from bodies without warning. 30 heads rolled to the ground. The headless bodies stood where they'd been, gushing blood like fountains. The system message repeated with each kill. Killed a planetary-level monster race, dropped bronze-level cultivation for 256 days. Holy cow! This is what they mean by rich and reckless, one onlooker muttered. Buying monster race slaves just to slaughter them? Another scoffed. If you want to kill, go to the virtual universe. Behind Yang Wu, a planetary-level rank 7 martial artist watched in stunned silence. Other than the rat-tide incident, Yang Wu had never enjoyed slaughter this much. Both the cultivation payout and the ease of killing these monster race made it strangely satisfying. When the final monster race fell, Yang Wu laughed, exhilarated. Almost 180 million days of bronze-level cultivation, comfortable enough. He sighed. Too bad, I'm out of money. Unlikely I'll get another haul soon. Master, shall I handle the corpses? The planetary-level rank 7 asked, relieved he hadn't been harmed. Do it, Yang Wu waved. The subordinate formed a strange flame of primal force and began to tidy up the slaughtered bodies. Chulong Star, planetary docking port, a green-skinned strongman in a gray uniform, 2 meters 8 tall, with twin curved horns, took the docking card back from Yang Wu with respectful formality. He watched as Yang Wu and his retinue boarded the Black Dragon spaceship, and the craft lifted from the port. Phew, the strongman exhaled. How long has it been? He's already leaving with an astral rank 7 slave. He checked his auxiliary optics. Astral rank 7, enough to sweep a standard planet easily. The thought made his blood boil. In the Black Dragon's control room, the astral rank 7 stood respectfully behind Yang Wu as the ship accelerated. A cute little demon avatar appeared on the control panel. Spaceship has left Chulong Star, now accelerating. Seconds later, the ship announced, reaching light speed in 10 seconds, initiating universe jump. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The ship vibrated. 10 seconds passed. Jump successful, entering the dark universe. Yang Wu turned at last to the muscular figure behind him. The black Meng race man looked human in build and handsome, except for fangs and dark red eyes. "What's your name?" Yang Wu asked. "My name, translated into the universal language, is Ebola Shadnyanita Campbell," the man answered, his voice reverent and clipped by the chip. Yang Wu blinked. He'd heard of long names before, but that was excessive. "From today on, you're Shao Qi," he said, pointing. "Yes, master." The black Meng man accepted the new name dutifully. His heart raced, but there was nothing he could do. "You may go to your cabin and rest," Yang Wu ordered. "Understood." Shao Qi bowed and withdrew. The control room door closed automatically, leaving Yang Wu alone. "Babata, connect to the virtual universe network," Yang Wu commanded mentally. Virtual universe world, Black Dragon Mountain Island. People flowed through the crowded streets. Avatars and consciousnesses glimmered. Yang Wu appeared out of nowhere in an instant. "Mr. Yang Wu, your Universe Galaxy bank account has been found. Bind it?" A voice suggested inside his mind. "Bind it," Yang Wu replied. The Universe Galaxy Bank tied into his spiritual imprint. The virtual universe linked to consciousness and also to that imprint. He strolled into an old roadside bar, ordered a glass of fruit juice, and settled into a corner seat. "Babata, can you deal with the Zerg mother nest?" he asked casually. Chapter 105, The Golden Horned Beast That Was Born Prematurely. Babata gave Yang Wu a long, searching look. As far as he knew, Yang Wu shouldn't have any familiarity with a Zerg mother nest or the Zerg queen mother, so how did he even know there was a mother nest on Earth? Zerg mother nest. Babata's eyes narrowed. "Where did you learn about this?" The insect race was one of the universe's apex species, on par with the human race, and it was a very strange kind of existence. When you counted members of the insect race, the numbers could be terrifyingly large or pitifully small. A single Zerg mother nest could spawn billions upon billions of Zerg warriors and conquer whole swaths of space by sheer numbers. But the warriors themselves were almost entirely devoid of intelligence, driven only by instinct. Countless Zerg obeyed the mother nest absolutely. If the nest ordered them to die, not a single Zerg would resist. In other words, the only truly intelligent life in the insect race was the mother nest itself. Measured by my mother nest units, the insect race had a minuscule population, and every mother nest, even the weakest, could be comparable to a world lord, while the strongest equaled an undying. One mother nest spawning untold Zerg could occupy a galaxy or rule over a vast starfield. "I found that strange sphere in Shenangjia odd," Yang Wu said, keeping his face impassive. "So I looked it up casually." To the Zerg mother nest, a presence anywhere in the universe was a disaster-class event. Information on a mother nest was always top secret on the virtual universe network and not casually accessible. Babata knew that, with Yang Wu's current clearance, there was no way he should have known about this. "Yang Wu, I always knew you were odd." Babata shook his head. "I don't know where you learned it, but you shouldn't provoke that thing." Yang Wu shrugged helplessly. If he had the money, he wouldn't provoke it either. But Dylan, an undying expert who had been Luo Feng's guard captain in the original timeline, had said a Zerg mother nest had immense value. The mother nest left behind on Earth by Hu Yambo, though slumbering, was still alive and could fetch over 1,000,000 primal chaos units. On Yunmo planet right now, its value was second only to a Yunmo star number and far exceeded an automaton race starship. "I want to try," Yang Wu said, his eyes narrowing. "You're thinking too simply about a mother nest." Babata shook his head. "The poisonous gas the nest emits around Shenangjia can kill a universe rank and even corrode Luying guards. I can tell you this, unless you become a domain lord, there's almost no chance you can approach a Zerg mother nest. Besides, the Zerg Queen Mother is currently dormant and won't wake easily, at least for now." Babata smiled. "It would take an undying whose soul attainments surpassed your teacher's. Such a being could destroy Earth with a flick of a hand. They wouldn't bother painstakingly reviving a Zerg mother nest." "Is there really no way?" Yang Wu raised an eyebrow. The nest was worth 1,000,000 primal chaos units. He didn't want to give up if there was a chance. "There really isn't." Babata's answer was firm. Otherwise, the old boss wouldn't have discarded it on Earth in the first place. Yang Wu sighed and shook his head. Since that route was closed, he'd have to take another. First, he'd enter the world of worlds and hunt treasures, quietly excavating all the Thunderstones until the castle appeared. He'd exchange everything at once, sell what he could, then buy a universe-rank slave and a fourth-tier force battlesuit, enough to acquire an automaton race starship. It wasn't worth as much as a mother nest, but it should still be worth several thousand primal chaos units. Earth. Since Yang Wu's meteoric rise, and since he'd brought Luo Feng along with him, the planet had enjoyed unprecedented peace for over a year. The 5 major powers, the HR Alliance, and the 2 major martial arts academies each received at least 1 or 2 Muya crystals. Some got 3 or 4. Most of those crystals had come from Luo Feng. Babada needed massive amounts of material to build a starship, and he'd been exchanging resources for Muya crystals. As a result, new counselor-level powerhouses had emerged across factions. The year 2058 saw the biggest increase in counselor-level figures Earth had ever experienced, more than 20 new ones. Humanity's strengthening made defense against king-level monsters from the seas easier. When the major powers assigned planetary-level powerhouses to the task, they weren't stretched thin anymore. Each force felt far more confident in opposing Sea King-level threats. The United States set up a major military district not far from New York and built a massive war base in the city to block king-level sea monsters from advancing inland. The war base was over 500 meters long and resembled a beast entrenched on the river. In its lower bunker, bathed in the afterglow of the setting sun, 5 American soldiers sat cross-legged, gambling. There was usually no fighting at the base. When fighting did happen, people often died. So during peacetime, the men gambled, something the high command rarely interfered with. "OMG, bad hand," one dark-skinned young soldier cursed, slamming his cards down. "Ha ha! I win again." A golden-haired youth laughed and blew a kiss through a small opening in the bunker toward the outside. "Beautiful goddess of fortune, keep smiling on me. Hey, what's that?" He pointed at the slit and the others turned to look. "Heaven! Oh my God! King-level monster!" An ear-piercing alarm screamed through the war base. The relaxed atmosphere snapped into alert. Soldiers rushed to their stations. Outside, under the dying sun, a colossal creature had appeared. It was a king-level monster over 180 meters long, lion-like in form. Its body was covered in scales the size of houses. The edges of each scale were as sharp as blades. A pair of wings stretched 200 meters when unfurled, black and armored like forged steel. A single horn rose proudly from its head, black, but intertwined with complex golden patterns that flowed down its neck and along its back to the tail, as if it wore armor woven of black and gold. Most unnerving were its eyes, vast, dark golden orbs, godlike in their stare, looking down on the world. If Yang Wu had been there, he would have recognized it instantly, the golden-horned beast. Yang Wu suddenly raised an eyebrow, puzzled. 2 unexpected missions had just popped up. You have triggered a challenge mission, Golden Horned Beast. Mission requirement, survive as long as possible against the Golden Horned Beast. Strength comparison in progress. Comparison complete. You are not a match for the Golden Horned Beast. Mission rewards generated. Reward. This mission's rewards are tiered. Meet each survival requirement to receive the corresponding reward. Survive 1 minute, primary blind box. Survive 3 minutes, intermediate blind box. Survive 10 minutes, high-level blind box, with a random chance to acquire 1 ability from the Golden Horned Beast. There was nothing ambiguous about that. You had to survive 10 minutes. But what was a blind box? You have triggered a main mission, Golden Horned Beast. Mission brief. The Golden Horned Beast is about to wreak havoc on Earth. Do what you can. Optional Mission 1. Swallow your pride and choose to ignore it. As a transmigrator, you understand self-preservation. When it's time to be cowardly, be cowardly. Choosing this grants the reward, 100 million days of bronze-level cultivation. Optional Mission 2. This is unbearable. You consider the Golden Horned Beast little more than a younger brother. Act in anger and suppress the Golden Horned Beast. Mission completion reward, 1 billion days of bronze-level cultivation with a slight increase in innate talent. Of the 2, the first was obviously the easiest. Do nothing and receive 100 million days of bronze-level cultivation for free. But unless he was a fool, Yang Wu wouldn't pick that. From the missions, he could tell the golden horn beast had already appeared somewhere. Maybe Luo Feng had risen too fast, and the beast had shown up earlier than expected. It made sense. Luo Feng reached planetary level in early 2057, nearly 2 years ahead of schedule. If he'd had more time, he might have gone after the golden horn beast himself. Why it appeared early no one knew, but its early arrival wasn't necessarily bad news for Yang Wu. On the contrary, it could be an opportunity. After finishing his cultivation, Luo Feng rushed into the bathroom, turned on the shower, and let the hot water wash over him. A thought later, and his golden primordial energy swept through his body, evaporating every drop. He dressed quickly and ran downstairs. Just then, Xu returned from shopping, carrying a basket of vegetables. She parked and came in, smiling. Luo Feng went to open the door. "You bought a lot," he said, looking at the basket with mild surprise. "Of course. Wait until you taste it." Xu put the groceries on the kitchen counter, pulled an apron from her bag, and tied it on with a proud grin. Then she stepped into the kitchen, shut the door, and began a merciless assault on pots and pans. Luo Feng chuckled, flopped onto the sofa, and turned on the TV. With his younger brother off traveling with his girlfriend, his parents surprisingly out on a trip, and Babata gone with Yang Wu, the house felt emptier than usual. At least Xu came often enough to keep things from being lonely. The phone's ringtone cut through the domestic calm. Luo Feng fished his phone up and pressed speaker. "Hello, Luo Feng," a deep voice said. "Mo Hunterson?" Luo Feng's smile faded into a look of concern. "Do you need something? This is extremely important. It concerns the survival of all humanity on Earth. Hurry, enter the War God Palace," the voice said urgently. Now all Global Council members and high-level government officials will be there. He added a few more terse words before ending the call. Luo Feng soothed his anxious wife for a moment, then climbed to the gravity room and entered the virtual War God Palace through the optical computer. The War God Palace was the only place where the Human Council's most important discussions and the palace's monthly auctions took place. Attendance was limited to Earth's most powerful experts. Only those at or above War God level could access it. Luo Feng had been there before, once for Babata's brutal training program and another time as a planetary-level council member. With the inheritance of Yunmo planet behind him, Earth's affairs rarely held his attention for long. His sights had already been set on the wider universe. In the virtual space, Luo Feng appeared in a huge chamber, clothed in a golden robe. An electronic voice announced, "Council member Luo Feng, please proceed to the top floor conference hall immediately." Top floor? That was the largest hall in the War God Palace, the one used when the Human Council convened for the most serious matters. If they were meeting there, whatever had happened had to be major. Luo Feng hurried out. Along the way, he passed war gods in white robes and 2 council members in golden robes, all moving with purpose. The palace's usual tranquil atmosphere had snapped taut. Everyone's expressions were tense, uncertain what catastrophe had brought them here. By the time he reached the top floor conference hall, more than 50 council members in golden robes had already assembled, along with countless war gods in white robes. Among those in white were leaders from Earth's 5 great powers, presidents or vice presidents who were not necessarily war god level fighters themselves. Normally, they couldn't enter a human council session, but today they'd been granted special permission. The room filled rapidly, the air thick with solemnity. "The first speaker is here," someone murmured, "and the president of the American Federation has arrived." Luo Feng looked over as Hong, the thunder god, and others took seats at the front. All the council members were present, except for Yang Wu's empty chair. Leaders from the 5 major powers and speakers from the HR Alliance had come as well. At this moment, Earth's top decision-makers and strongest authorities were all gathered. Leaders, esteemed speakers, council members, the Black President of the American Federation said as he stepped to the podium. His face was grave and his voice low. "All our highest representatives are present. I must inform you, with great sorrow, that the doomsday for our world may have begun." A ripple of alarm passed through the hall. Since acquiring the Muya crystal and the ruined spaceship intelligence Luo Feng had used to trade for it, humanity had felt poised to push back the monsters. What could have gone so wrong to cause such desperate words from the Black President? I can't explain it fully here. Please watch this video, he continued. A projected film filled the chamber. The feed showed a recent disaster filmed at the military base just outside City 01. Chapter 107, Crazy Boost and Battle Preparation. Whoosh! The huge screen behind the rostrum began to play a video. At first, everyone talked about the appearance of the unknown monster, but as the footage continued, the chatter died away and was replaced by sharp gasps of disbelief. Oh my god! That's more than an Emperor-level beast. 3 shots from the highest power laser cannon didn't even scratch its scales. Even if a beast Emperor were hit that hard, it would be critically wounded. The conference hall erupted. Even the usually calm figures, Hong, Thunder God, and Luo Feng, looked stunned. When the creature in the video opened its jaws, a warbase, far larger than the monster and more than 500 meters across, floated up and flew straight into its mouth. The base grew smaller and smaller until it was swallowed whole. Silence fell like a stone. No one could explain it. A metal warbase, packed with soldiers, had been consumed like food. At that time, nearly 10,000 soldiers were in the base. All of them were eaten. Not a single one survived, the Black President said in a deep, resonant voice. And that's only the beginning. He pointed at the roaring creature on the screen. After this beast tore apart our fortress, countless sea monsters obeyed it and began invading inland. The video cut to scenes of aquatic monsters surging up rivers. Then it switched again. Somewhere else in North America, the same monstrous being swallowed another warbase. No matter how solid the base, how brave the soldiers, or how powerful the martial artists, the thing simply devoured them whole. It's unstoppable. The Black President's voice trembled, tears welling in his eyes. Is this the end of the world? For a long moment, no one spoke. Luo Feng sat silent among them. The leaders, martial artists, and diplomats present all racked their brains for a solution, but dread, sorrow, and anger filled the War God Palace. Laser cannons and the 150 million-ton equivalent hydrogen bomb, humanity's most fearsome weapon, had only wounded the golden horned beast. They could not kill it. A creature that had only just reached astral rank had rendered everyone helpless. Even worse, as the devouring beast attacked and swallowed warbases, it grew. It had been about 180 meters when first seen. Now it exceeded 190 meters and continued expanding. Luo Feng stared at the frozen image of the beast and felt the weight of it pressing on him. The disaster had fallen on the citizens of the American Federation. He felt sympathy, but it was not the same as if it struck his own homeland. If this threat were ignored, who knew whether it would reach China tomorrow and cost his compatriots their lives? He looked at the empty seat at the front of the rostrum that belonged to Yang Wu and thought, if Brother Yang were here, he might be able to deal with it. Where did this monster come from? We've never seen anything like it. 4 hooves and wings. How can it swallow a warbase? What kind of creature is this? Low murmurs rippled through the hall. Anxiety showed plainly on the faces of leaders and martial artists alike. Suddenly, Hong turned to Luo Feng. Where's Yang Wu? Do you know where he is? Hong had watched Yang Wu become planetary level and then reach planet level 4 in just over 10 days. Yang Wu's rapid progress had given Hong hope, the hope of defeating the Golden Horned Beast. Yang knew Yang Wu had been in seclusion for nearly 2 years and might already have broken into astral rank. If anyone had a chance to end this threat, it would be Yang Wu. At the thought of the unknown beast's almost unbelievable power, people instinctively sought support. Many of them thought of Earth's strongest genius, Yang Wu. All eyes in the hall turned to Luo Feng. I don't know where he is, Luo Feng said solemnly, and it may take some time before he can return. Babada, no need to conserve any more. Accelerate from 1.2 times light speed to the limit, 1.5 times light speed, Yang Wu ordered. Why? Babada sounded puzzled. You'll see when we get back to Earth. Hurry. Yang Wu's face was grave. He had not expected the golden horned beast to appear so soon. Yang Wu understood the scale of the challenge. If we use a simple scale, a peak planetary level fighter as 1 in attack power, then an astral rank first tier is typically over 10 times that, at least 10. The golden horned beast's life gene level was 10 times that of an ordinary human, so its attack power could exceed 100. And its long life meant that, despite being biologically very young, only about a year old, it had noble blood and a vast inherited memory of its bloodline. Still, 1 year was nowhere near long enough to learn everything from those memories. In terms of realm and experience, it lagged behind even Yang Wu. Yang Wu knew raw physical advantages had to be fully exploited. Having greater physical potential didn't automatically mean greater combat strength. How much of that potential a fighter can use is key. Some people can use only 30%, others 50, 60, or more. Masters of a technique can use minimal strength to fell opponents 10 times stronger. Skill and experience matter. But if the difference in physical potential is extreme, skill alone cannot make up for it. By original accounts, even Hong and Thunder God had been able to wound the golden horned beast. That meant the beast wasn't even exerting its full power. Yang Wu's life gene level was 3 times that of a normal person, and his power exertion level was 7, making his base attack power roughly 21. That exceeded Hong and Thunder God in the original tale, but a fight with the golden horned beast was far from guaranteed to be safe. 10,000 days of bronze-level training comprehend the basic 312 forms. Yang Wu's thoughts shifted, and he began to accelerate his cultivation. Scenes flashed by like an accelerator had been flipped on. He swung his saber tens of millions of times until he reached the extreme of speed. For a full 10,000 days, he practiced the basic 312 forms without stopping. Insights arrived in waves. Yang Wu gripped the hilt, narrowed his eyes, focused, and struck. The higher the power exertion level you seek, the more brutal the cultivation required to improve. Even though the basic 312 forms were the correct method and his triple life gene level boosted comprehension, it still took him 10,000 days of bronze-level training to raise his power exertion from 7 to 8, then 20,000 days to go from 8 to 9, and so on, step by step. In total, Yang Wu spent 163,830,000 days of bronze-level training to raise his power exertion level from 7 up to 20. This lousy comprehension, Yang Wu muttered with a crooked smile. I really have to improve my talent. Long ago, the Yunmo planet's master had entered the Dark Universe and used a spatial secret method to hide the coordinates that corresponded to Earth's region within 1,000 light-years of the Dark Universe. Finding those concealed coordinates was extremely difficult. Only a few undying powerhouses could do it. Apart from Babata, which could locate the hidden coordinates easily, other ships could not reach Earth directly. They could only fly slowly and search. One day later, Babata's avatar appeared on the control room screen. We've entered the Dark Universe region, corresponding to Earth. Your teacher concealed the coordinates using a space secret method. I need to orbit for about 5 minutes on a precise trajectory to find the true cosmic coordinates. Yang Wu nodded. Space secret methods were beyond him for now. The Yunmo lineage techniques he was learning did not include that skill. 5 minutes later, spatial ripples in the solar system shimmered strangely, and a pitch-black, disc-shaped warp ship appeared out of thin air. Cosmic travel accomplished. I'm back! Yang Wu stared at the azure planet hanging in the distance and felt a surge of emotion. Without seeing Earth, he could not feel at home. That blue world was his root. Earth, I'm back. His gaze sharpened. Babata, take us down. Yes, Babata replied. The black ship accelerated, streaking toward the blue planet. Across Earth, everyone watched 2 legendary martial artists soar through the sky, one in black and one in white, like immortals. People estimated billions were watching. Haha, Brother Hong, how many do you think are watching the 2 of us right now? Thunder God grinned. Probably over 6 billion, Hong said with a smile. At a time like this, you still think about that? Thunder God teased. What's wrong? Can't I be proud before I die? Thunder God laughed. They both smiled. For decades they had been carefree warriors. Even now their spirits were clear and unburdened. They had cast aside thoughts of life and death. Their single aim was to kill the devouring beast. In that resolve they felt calmer than ever, their bodies burning with readiness for battle. Then Yang Wu's excited voice rang through the sky. Ha ha! Since you 2 are eager to fight, why didn't you wait for me? Chapter 108. Shocked Babata. 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 Yang Wu sent the call into his mind. He'd already sold the Azure Dragon Blade. The golden horned beast in front of them was astral rank. Without a proper weapon, breaking its defense would be nearly impossible. If he could break its defense and bathe in the creature's blood, he could ascend to extraordinary astral rank. Everything else would be simple after that. Why are you disturbing me? I was sleeping. Babada replied through the mental link. In the virtual space, intelligences could slip in and out. Babada's presence was far stronger than the intelligence that had set up the War God Palace, so he entered without being detected. Babada, you should know the monster on the screen, right? Yang Wu said quickly. He had to rely on Babada. His knowledge far exceeded any Earthlings. Babada had even once fashioned weapons for Hong and Thunder God from a wrecked spaceship during the war. They weren't force weapons, but they could pierce defenses. Oh, let me, the demon Babada, take a look, Babada said, a note of pride in his voice. Then he went silent for a moment and finally burst out. Oh my God, what the hell? The golden horned beast has appeared on Earth? You rushed back because of this? Yes, Yang Wu nodded. Babada went quiet again, then explained in a rush. In my master's 60 million years of wandering the galaxies, he encountered only 3 starry sky beasts. None had such a bloodline. The one you're facing is a golden horned beast, peak among starry sky beasts. It's even more notorious than the flame star beast. If it reaches full maturity, it will be world lord rank. Both the golden horned and flame star beasts are devourers among starry sky beasts. The flame star beast is fire attributed. The golden horned is metal attributed. They're among the most supreme, stronger than the best bloodlines of our human race. The golden horned beast is cruel and tyrannical, with savage attack power. It's over. If it's really come to Earth, your world is finished. There's no hope. Yang Wu only shook his head. Then I'll try that strange ability I found before. Their mental exchange was fast. On the display, the golden horned beast hovered above the deep sea. Its massive bulk and the 3 of them, Yang Wu, Hong, and Thunder God, were now less than 1,000 meters apart. The 3 exchanged looks and a shared grim smile. I will not allow it. Babada's voice was sudden and fierce. I waited 50,000 years for a successor with limitless potential like you. Although you're not a direct disciple, your talent surpasses my Yunmo star lineage's direct heirs. I absolutely will not let you die. You don't need to stop me. Yang Wu replied steadily. If this was a real death sentence, I wouldn't go either way. Besides, my force exertion level has reached 20. Babada went silent, then sucked in a breath. What? Force exertion level 20? When? You only just came out of your nutrient fluid. I haven't seen you actively cultivate. Your brain region width hasn't changed. How could you suddenly reach 20-fold force? Yang Wu gave a small smile and casually threw a punch, releasing the force exertion level 20 he'd claimed. Hiss! Babada's doubt shattered into astonishment. Seeing Yang Wu actually display that level of power stirred Babada like a storm at sea. He'd suspected, but now it was undeniable. Incredible. This growth rate, Babada murmured, astonished and puzzled. Yang Wu was still so young, childlike in many ways. How could he defy common sense and surge to such strength? Babada remembered no expansion of Yang Wu's brain region width. Aside from having a life gene 3 times that of ordinary humans, there was no clear cause. If it wasn't natural talent, what else could explain it? A flash of insight struck Babada. Yang Wu had always been strange. There had to be an unknown secret behind him. Whatever it was, his growth was a blessing for the Yunmo star lineage. Yang Wu, don't overestimate yourself, Babada warned. The golden horned beast bears world lord rank bloodline. Even if you feel similar in strength and your comprehension is higher, you cannot defeat it alone. I am Yang Wu, an earthling first, a Yunmo star successor second. Yang Wu's gaze sharpened, his will was iron. Once he'd made a decision, no one could sway him. Babada fell silent, emotions complex. How long had it been since he'd felt this mixture of worry and pride? Don't rush, Babada sighed at last. I'm going to make you a long spear and 2 battle blades. He paused. Weapons like spears and blades are considered divine weapons on Earth, but they're primitive on a cosmic scale. I'll use metal from the spaceship wreckage to forge and temper 2 weapons for you. In sharpness, toughness, and edge, they'll surpass anything you've had. Babada found himself admiring Yang Wu again. He'd always sensed something unique about him, and now that uniqueness finally showed itself. Wait, Yang Wu told Hong and Thunder God. What for? The golden horned beast was wounded by that green egg earlier. Now's the best time, Thunder God said, arching an eyebrow. Right, Thunder God and I have our own domains. If we all strike at once, there's a chance, Hong added, smiling. Thunder God nodded. I'll have your weapons ready soon, Babada assured them. Without them, you might not even break its defense. Yang Wu shook his head. If he relied on the strange threefold burst ability, even a thick-skinned golden-horned beast would feel his blows. But Hong and Thunder God were weaker. Without proper weapons, even with their domains, they might fail. Domain? Babada's expression changed again, astonishment mixing with curiosity as he prepared metal, plans, and the impossible knowledge of a boy who might change the fate of Earth. Chapter 109. Yang Wu's arrangements for Hong. How could two planetary-level fighters, both with domains, suddenly show up on the same planet? That makes no sense. One is a miracle, two is impossible. Don't panic, Yang Wu transmitted through consciousness. With Thunder God and Hong both having domains, your chances of taking down the golden horned beast are much higher. This is good. But Babada's tone was heavy and shaken. Universe rank? Usually a whole galaxy produces one at most, and that one might not even have a domain, Babada said. Even among astral rank elites, almost none have domains. For a planetary-level martial artist to possess a domain is like hitting the jackpot. You're telling me Earth already has one, Hong, and now this Thunder God also has a domain? Babada's disbelief grew. Statistically, it's one in hundreds of millions. If the universe ever learned of Hong and Thunder God, powerful factions would either try to kill them out of envy or recruit them immediately. A planetary-level fighter who controls a domain is automatically a prodigy, and when a domain master fights at full strength, they are terrifying. They can synchronize gene power, physical might, mind, and consciousness, resonating with cosmic space. The fusion sends their power to extremes. Yang Wu listened, and Babada's amazement made sense. A universe-rank being, one in a galaxy, might not even possess a domain. The odds of two planetary-level domain holders appearing on Earth were astronomical. Babada, didn't our Yunmo star lineage collect martial arts secret methods? Yang Wu asked cautiously. Let's teach them to Hong and Thunder God. Without a proper lineage and systems, raw talent can stall. Yang Wu wanted Hong and Thunder God to keep pace with him and Luo Feng. They were, after all, among Earth's 4 outstanding talents. He had other motives, too. He knew Earth's bleak future, and Hong's passage through the Illusion Sea was linked to that catastrophe. Yang Wu planned to warn him and prevent that trip. Also, if he didn't help, Hong might miss the chance to become Great Axe's disciple. Giving them some inheritance early might let them pass the talent war and join the Virtual Universe Corporation, and it would be fair compensation for Hong. No way. Those are secret methods of my Yunmo star line. Babada immediately objected. Exposing secret methods is a capital offense. The Yunmo star line focuses on Psyker Masters, Yang Wu said with a smile. My teacher was a Psyker Master. The techniques he created, Soul Imprint, Hexagram, Tower of Void, are all for Psyker Masters. The martial arts texts you have are probably collections my teacher gathered from outside sources. But they were painstakingly gathered by your teacher, Babada insisted. They can't be passed on to outsiders. If they aren't disciples of Yunmo Star, they'll never be taught. Yang Wu pressed on, but Babada remained stubborn. Eventually, Yang Wu tried another angle. How about taking Hong and Thunder God as disciples of Yunmo Star? Babada's eyes widened. After a moment, he nodded repeatedly. That works. Yang Wu was surprised by how simple Babada found it. You'd really take them as disciples? Of course, Babada said. They'd be stellar disciples, planetary-level domain holders, two geniuses like that. Every major power in the universe would compete for them. Even though Yunmo Star's master is a psyker, we would never refuse such geniuses. Let's decide the details after this battle. Yang Wu agreed. Luo Feng floated over Yangzhou City and watched giant public screens on the streets, all switched to live footage from the Pacific. The broadcast showed Yang Wu, Hong, and Thunder God flying side by side toward the golden horned beast. Are they humanity's last hope? Luo Feng felt a sharp ache. Yang Wu, you must succeed. He understood why the Dojo of Limits and the Thunder Martial Hall had made the fight public and broadcast it worldwide. The three fighters might be going to their deaths. The world needed to know. For nations and martial communities, this was also a chance to ignite humanity's fighting spirit. Success would be a miracle. Failure could still rally the entire race to stand and fight. In Mingyuo community, a martial artist community under the Dojo of Limits, residents had been ordered to assemble in the hall. Nearly 1,000 people filled the largest training hall. A massive screen on the wall projected the Pacific Ocean feed. Hong wore black and held a completely black long spear. Yangwu and the bald thunder god, both dressed in white, ran their hands over a dark purple battle knife. "Fine weapons," Hong said, eyes bright. "The balance and structure of this battle knife feel excellent. It suits my knife techniques," Yangwu praised. "It's wickedly sharp," Thunder God said, flicking the blade. The knife sliced through the air like it was cutting a sheet of nothing. "That close-fitting armor's a treasure, too. We hit the jackpot," Hong smiled. "Seems like not only my brother and I found ancient civilization ruins gear, Yang Wu has treasures as well." "I thought he only entered the 9th ruins. Did he find some armory from another civilization?" Thunder God wondered. "How else would he get weapons that fit us so well?" With domains at their command and such high cultivation, Hong and Thunder God needed only to swing a new weapon to instinctively access more than 100% of their power. The fit and feel came immediately. "Yang Wu," Babata's low voice said, "the devouring beast just surfaced off the west coast of America and tore through an old shipyard inside the wilderness area. It was above water for 2 minutes and 18 seconds before diving back in." Both Hong and Thunder God's expressions tightened. The devouring beast had come ashore twice the previous night, and now again this morning. 3 quick sorties. Each time it had risen only briefly, consumed vast amounts of steel, and immediately returned to the sea. "It's getting cautious," Yang Wu said coldly. "The green egg we used earlier made it wary. Still, it's come up to feed 3 times in a row since last night," he continued. "That means it's injured and needs to absorb a lot of energy to recover its strength." Chapter 110 completed the stellar-level advanced mission. "Yes, we can't wait any longer," Thunder God said solemnly. Hong nodded once. The original plan had been to wait for the devouring beast to surface from the sea and spring an ambush, but unexpectedly the beast only showed itself for a very short time before diving again. "We've locked onto the beast's aura. Once it surfaces..." Yang Wu's eyes were sharp. "Let's go," Hong said more decisively. Both he and Thunder God knew the beast was badly wounded. If they let this opportunity slip and it fully recovered, their chances would shrink even further. Behind them, in the training hall of Mingyue Community's Limit Hall, a young martial artist who had only recently been promoted and moved into the community whispered, "Inspector Luo, how strong is that golden horned beast? They'll win, right?" Luo Feng glanced at the young man with a small, knowing smile. The sight of him reminded Luo Feng of his own first days after leaving the low-rent housing community. "Yes, they will win," Luo Feng said firmly. A commentator's voice explained the battle over the giant screen. The confrontation was being broadcast live across the world. National leaders watched as well. Nearly 1,000 people filled the hall, all staring up at the screen. Because the alert had been sudden, the hall hadn't had time to set out enough chairs. No one cared. Luo Feng's family stood among the crowd, silently watching. Up above the dark, roiling Pacific, 3 figures, Yang Wu, Hong, and Thunder God, cut through the air side by side. Their target was the strongest of sea monsters, the golden-horned beast. Wind howled and the sea boiled, waves towering over 10 meters. Suddenly a massive form burst out of the water, scaly wings, 4 clawed hooves, a powerful tail, and a single golden horn thrusting into the sky. The golden patterning on the horn looked dimmer than before, but its dark, golden eyes burned with a frenzied, suppressed rage. It was still recovering. When it regained full strength, it would strike back with devastating force. After flying more than 10 kilometers from the surface, the golden-horned beast paused, turned its head, and its gaze swept the horizon. It had already detected 3 hostile auras. One of them was especially terrifying, and the beast's noble bloodline fueled sheer arrogance. How dare the humans of this weak planet challenge it? With a beat of its scaly wings, it transformed into a streak of light and charged straight for Yang Wu. The whole world held its breath. In the training hall, nearly 1,000 people watched tensely as the screen showed the beast and the three martial artists closing to less than 1,000 meters. Yang Wu, Hong, and Thunder God flared with terrifying original force, an aura that made the hair rise on everyone watching. Luofeng held Xu Xin's hand, looked at her belly, and then up at the screen. Above the sea, the golden horned beast faced humanity's three supreme fighters. Hong and Thunder God unleashed soul-burning, desperate ultimate moves, the kind only domain powerhouses could perform. Without a domain, one could not pull these techniques off. Hong's body and the long spear in his hand were swallowed in black light. Thunder God was wreathed in snake-like green electric light. Both laughed, a fierce, unhinged sound. Yang Wu said nothing. He flashed like a phantom to the beast's left rear and slashed viciously at its neck. In Yang Wu's mind, Babada's voice sounded, calm and clinical. They're fighting with their lives. Hong and Thunder God are burning their souls with desperate ultimate techniques. Soul, original energy, strength, and will are completely fused, communicating with the universe to unleash their utmost power. It's terrifying. Their battle will last at most 1 minute. If they kill the golden horned beast within that minute, they live. If it lasts longer, they will be spent and unable to resist. You'll have to rely on yourself. Either the beast dies, or all three of you die together. Although I don't understand where Yang Wu's confidence comes from, do your best and leave the rest to fate. Yang Wu allowed himself a small smile. None of us will die. The three fighters carved arcs through the sky and struck from different angles. To ordinary eyes, the astral rank clash was almost invisible. Broadcasts had to use replays, slow motion, and commentary. Only Luo Feng in the hall could see the battle clearly, and only he could feel the warning. Abnormal excitement. After activating this talent, the actual intensity of each of your attacks will fluctuate in a range of 0% to 300%. While abnormal excitement is active, stamina and original force incur an additional 1,000% consumption. Yang Wu's first strike, though his comprehension wasn't as refined as Hong's or Thunder God's, hit with raw force. His realm was higher than the Golden Horned Beast's. His strength was now over half the beast's, making it difficult to evade. The first blow dealt 1.5 times critical damage, but failed to break its defense. He followed with strike after strike, some high, some low, until a supercritical hit landed, 2.8 times critical damage. The beast shuddered, pain and fury flashing in its dark golden eyes as crimson blood bubbled from its mouth. Yang Wu's face was splattered with that blood. A system notification chimed. You have met the requirements for the advanced optional mission. The Astral Rank Advancement mission has been completed. Hong and Thunder God both looked at Yang Wu, their expressions brightening. Babada's eyes gleamed too. Yang Wu had already been able to wound the Golden Horned Beast with ease. If he broke through, he could finish it for sure. Although I've known him a long time, he still manages to amaze me every time, Luo Feng said, shaking his head as he watched Yang Wu on the screen. He clenched his fists so hard his palms were slick with sweat. One after another, the planetary-level experts watching the terrifying gene power vortex that had suddenly formed erupted into excited murmurs. This kind of vortex, has Yang Wu broken through to astral rank? How can someone like this exist? He's practically born a martial artist. I've never seen a genius grow this fast. Their voices mixed admiration with bitterness. They had struggled for years to advance after reaching planetary level and still hadn't managed it. Yang Wu, in contrast, had reached planetary level faster than anyone in history and was now accelerating straight into astral rank. Compared to them, his progress was maddening. Everyone was stunned, as if their worldview had been overturned. Yang Wu's face flushed crimson. He sat cross-legged as waves of gene power surged into him from the void. His eyes were tightly shut. Inside every cell, ethereal star rivers spun into vortices. Gene power whirled, forming ringed spirals. The calm gene power that had already congealed into star rivers suddenly began to surge and churn. In his dantian, gene power rose like a blood sea. 9 miniature planetary-level planets shattered and then rushed together. The surging gene power began to rotate faster and faster. As if Pangu were carving out heaven and earth, The dantian that had not existed in his abdomen opened with a roar. The rotating gene power accelerated, constantly expanding and contracting. With each cycle, its volume diminished. At the critical moment, Yang Wu felt his consciousness quake and his whole body tremble. He had succeeded. A golden sphere expanded and contracted until, with a final collapse, his sea of consciousness thundered and a star of dazzling golden light formed. Yang Wu's gene power had reached astral rank. The miniature planet was purple, composed of countless purple hexagonal crystals, and it spun constantly, emitting strange fluctuations. Gene power, he thought, and a wisp burst out of his dantian and flowed through him. Instantly, his entire body, bones, marrow, skin, tendons, internal organs began to change. It felt as if his bones were shattering and reforming. The metamorphosis was tremendous, far more intense than his breakthrough to planetary level. Soon his body's strength had strengthened to astral rank first stage. Finally, I've entered astral rank, Yang Wu breathed, clenching his fists as power filled him. This feeling is incredible. At planetary and apprentice levels, improvements were incremental modifications of the original body. Hitting the peak of planetary and the advanced war god barrier had been a hard limit. Without crossing it, further progress was impossible. But once crossed, a whole new tier of growth opened up. It was as if his body had gone from a fully grown man who could no longer grow to an infant again, able to rise from astral rank first stage to ninth stage without the old bottlenecks. Once he gathered 9 stars, he could attempt the universe rank. Even an astral rank golden horn beast could force fighters like Luo Feng and Hong into a life-or-death battle. An astral rank Yang Wu, however, would be enough to sweep across the current Earth. As for the life gene metamorphosis, it will probably take at least 10 days. I'll finish it in system space to avoid trouble. With that thought, a gust of wind swept around him, and he slipped into the system space. In the endless void, 10,081 energy threads were born and linked to the miniature planet inside his dantian. It was as if that planet had sprouted new meridians. Gene power and Yang Wu fused with unprecedented intimacy. The 10,081 threads, like the workings of the cosmos, transmitted energy through the miniature planet to every part of his body. Bits of mysterious universal energy flowed along the threads into his cells and began driving the evolution of his life genes. Crack! Snap! His muscles, tendons, and bones sounded from within. Yang Wu closed his eyes, face alight with exhilaration. He wasn't just thrilled by the subtle gene evolution, but by the perfect cosmic cycle forming inside him. Gene power, planet, soul, body, an entire simulated universe. He was intoxicated by it, as if witnessing something supremely beautiful. Time passed in that space as the cycle slowly and automatically drove the gene evolution. 1 day, 2 days, 3. It took a full 10 days for Yang Wu's metamorphosis to complete. His life gene level rose to 10 times that of an ordinary person, comparable to the world lord rank bloodline of a golden horn beast, an all-around 10-fold increase. Although each astral rank stage still spanned a 2-fold difference between its lower and upper limits, Yang Wu, with only 1 star, now boasted base strength equivalent to an ordinary astral rank 4th stage. His gene power had become purer, and his compatibility with the origin laws had improved. Yang Wu could faintly sense the deepest fluctuations of the origin laws across the infinite universe. Metal, wood, water, fire, earth, light, lightning, space, time. The patterns were clearer than ever. Though his innate talent was only Bronze 5, his elevated life gene level raised his law perception far above what Bronze 5 normally allowed. Where others might be satisfied to grasp a single domain, he could now perceive the very fluctuations of the origin laws. 10-fold, he thought. My clarity of comprehension is 10 times greater, so the power of the laws I wield will be 10 times that of a normal person. With faster comprehension ahead, he inwardly praised himself. I can now rival the Black Warrior that Luo Feng worked so hard to become. Although the 10-day metamorphosis had required a full stretch of time in system space, only an instant had passed in the outside world. Chapter 112. Complete the challenge mission, Golden Horned Beast. Subscribe. The Golden Horned Beast's claw came down again, aiming straight for Yang Wu. The beast sensed a surge of power rising from within its own talon. The source was in that claw. Its expression twisted with fury. Its enormous hoof claw felt an immense force radiating from Yang Wu, who was resisting with everything he had, and that resistance only grew more terrifying by the second. Yang Wu locked his left hand onto the golden-horned beast's hoof claw and drew his right fist back. Then he slammed it down. Fast. A savage, overwhelming force exploded upward from his fist, enough to make the beast's eyelids twitch. The beast roared. The veins under its golden hide stood out like crimson snakes. Its coloring shifted from gold to a deep blood red as if it might burst. The impact compressed its spine to the point that it bent over like some oversized shrimp, bones cracked beneath the strain. "Good thing I didn't kill it," Yang Wu murmured, rubbing his fist. "Otherwise, I wouldn't get the full rewards for the challenge mission." Although their life gene levels were now comparable, Yang Wu's explosive power far outstripped the golden horned beast's. A truly merciless blow from him could have obliterated it. He landed another punch, feeling as if the beast's body and soul might be torn apart. The golden horned beast, beaten and bloodless-eyed where the golden glare had dulled to lifelessness, gave a low, bitter growl. Then, unexpectedly, it turned and beat its massive wings, fleeing. It streaked away as a golden blur and dived directly into the sea. Yang Wu showed no outward reaction as it vanished into the distance. "Phew, seems you're still in one piece." Babata examined Yang Wu carefully and let out a relieved sigh. "My life isn't something just anyone can take," Yang Wu said, his gaze sharpening. He followed the golden horned beast with his eyes. "Even an elite starry sky beast flees now." Babata stared at the retreating form, emotion showing on his face. "You've become astral rank then. It's no match anymore." Yang Wu smiled faintly as he trailed the beast. "It's a kind of life-level leap." Babata's face registered confusion and disbelief. "If I'm not mistaken, it's more than that. You've already... something like that." Yang Wu nodded. "My life gene level should be comparable to the golden horned beast's now." When Yang Wu admitted it plainly, Babata was stunned. He couldn't imagine how Yang Wu had advanced in such an unorthodox way. After the initial shock faded, joy flooded him. Unexpected, but very welcome. "Right. This is a golden horned beast, one of the starry sky beasts with the most perfect bloodlines. If it reaches maturity, it can reach World Lord rank," Babata said after he'd regained his composure. "There's almost no information about starry sky beasts in the wider universe. Even your teacher, after thousands of epochs, never encountered one. Judging from its size, it had the strength of a low-tier astral rank." "What are you going to do?" Babata asked. "I'll play with it for a bit," Yang Wu said with a faint smile. "Play is one thing, but you can't let it escape," Babata said, eyes lighting up as an idea came to him. The boss once left a soul imprint for his disciple, a perfect tool for taking over a body. "Taking over a body?" Yang Wu tilted his head. "Wait a moment, we don't know enough. Peak cosmic bloodline races like this usually have inherited memories. They're hard to kill. Because you never know what other trump cards they have. Physical attacks might not be enough. Unless you utterly shatter the body, but that would be wasteful," Babata added, conflicted. "I know, Babata, contact Luo Feng and get him here immediately," Yang Wu ordered. At the same time he moved, becoming a streak of light, and chased after the golden-horned beast as it dove into the ocean. Across the globe, news feeds and live broadcasts exploded. "The golden-horned beast can't stop Yang Wu now," Luo Feng announced, his face bright with hope. Spectators in every base city erupted in excitement. A glimmer of hope had appeared. "Yang Wu has reached astral rank. He can defeat the golden-horned beast." Deep beneath the Pacific, the golden-horned beast lay curled on the seabed, eyes closed. News of the human's breakthrough left it wary. Its inherited memory told it that at true astral rank it would be unrivaled on this planet, but Yang Wu's casual punches had triggered a real sense of danger. From the depths, it could see the human's figure cutting across the surface as a faint life phantom trailing downward. If Yang Wu targeted it relentlessly, even with its core and the metals it had gathered, it might not recover. In Jiangnan Base City, giant public screens showed Yang Wu as a silhouette of intersecting light, plunging down into the black ocean. A life phantom representation of Yang Wu descended quickly toward the golden-horned beast. "Yang Wu is closing in on the devouring beast," the live broadcast narrator cried, voice tense. The two phantoms converged and then overlapped. "Let us pray pray that Yangwu wins. He is humanity's last hope. People in streets across base cities held their breath, remembering how Yangwu had repeatedly pulled off miracles. Everyone hoped he could save humanity again. Under the seabed rock, Yangwu continued his descent with Babata directing him. 50 meters. Keep going. You'll reach it soon. The surrounding stones shattered, and suddenly Yangwu came face to face with the enraged golden-horned beast. Its dulled eyes burned with fury. It's almost over, Yangwu chuckled. What a long 10 minutes. He thought back to the earlier challenge missions. He'd failed to complete the first one, missing out on a talent despite getting a decent reward. The second mission had yielded that strange talent, abnormal excitement, but the earlier loss still stung, like missing out on hundreds of millions. Challenge mission, Golden Horned Beast, completed. You have fulfilled all mission requirements. Mission is being settled. Settlement complete. You have received 1 primary blind box, 1 medium blind box, and 1 high-level blind box. You have received a reward. Acquire one of the Golden Horned Beast's talent abilities. Randomly drawing complete. Please choose one of the following 3 abilities as your reward. Chapter 113. Get the clone and kill the Golden Horned Beast? Subscribe. 1. Reinforcement. After activation, the intensity of all attacks doubles, giving you the exhilarating feeling of a critical hit with every strike. 2. Clone. Self-preservation is paramount. You can have up to 3 clones, greatly increasing your chances of survival. 3. Noble bloodline. The Golden Horned Beast possesses an extremely noble bloodline, almost at the pinnacle. It can reach World Lord rank as an adult and has a terrifying 10 times life gene level. 4. Original body in heaven, can enlarge and shrink. Mastering the first layer triples attack intensity, the second layer multiplies it by 9, and the third layer by 36. 5. Teleportation secret method. First layer, arc light. Second layer, myriad changes. Third layer, teleportation. Oh, even a clone dropped. Yangwu's eyes glittered. The other 4 abilities were also good, but clone was exactly what he needed. Reinforcement sounded thrilling. Constant double damage was far more reliable than the luck-dependent abnormal excitement. The World Lord bloodline was priceless. A Golden Horned Beast with 10 times life gene could become a World Lord with ease. Original body in heaven relied heavily on devouring metal and suited the beast more than him. Teleportation was useful, but not for his current needs. So he chose without hesitation. You have obtained the talent, Clone. Since the challenge mission is done, it's time to finish the main mission. Yangwu smiled faintly. Boom, the sea suddenly dropped and swirled, forming a vortex over 1,000 meters across. The vortex exploded outward, raising waves by the hundreds of millions of tons, a 1,000-meter curtain of seawater like a tsunami, roaring like the end of the world. A black battle saber materialized in his palm and slashed diagonally. Clang! Saber key erupted from Yangwu's hand, and wherever it passed the air stilled as if the wind itself had been cut. The sound of the strike shook the sky yet carried an eerie silence, a sublime, wondrous note. As the saber light swept, faint fractures ripped through space like a vast net, tearing apart the ocean of blade light. The Golden Horned Beast's hairs stood on end. A raw, instinctive dread rose in its heart. Though the strike lacked showy momentum, it carried an uncanny invincibility that made the beast panic. No! Babata screamed inside Yangwu's mind, pounding at the ground. This is a Golden Horned Beast, one of the 12 peak bloodlines of the Starry Sky Beasts. Don't kill it! Don't kill it! The Golden Horned Beast's rarity was such that even undying powerhouses coveted one. Its value eclipsed entire powers and realms. The Milky Way itself couldn't compare. Babata's fear was justified, but he could only watch as crisis loomed over the creature. The saber passed through defenses without resistance and struck the beast. Rumble! The lightning-like saber key shredded the Golden Horned Beast's body and drove down into the seabed. Screams cut the air as the attack spread outward. The beast's pupils rolled white with terror. A crimson line split its scales. Blood beaded along its hide, and in 10 seconds, the mighty creature was streaked and soaked crimson. Its roars weakened from fierce pain to confused whimpers, then silence. Suddenly, its dark golden eyes dimmed. With a tearing noise, the beast's corpse split in two. Its grand, scaled wings drooped. Its massive frame fell limply. On screens everywhere, the life aura that represented the golden horned beast waned and waned. The life aura is weakening. The devouring beast's massive life force is dropping fast. 80%, 70%, 60, 50%, 40%, 30%. Poof, the aura vanished. The phantom of the golden horned beast's life on every screen disappeared. We won! We won! Victory! We finally won! Outbursts of joy echoed across China and then the world. Men and women, old and young, of every nation erupted in tears and cheers. It was Yang Wu who saved us all. He gave Earth hope again. Suspended in the air, Yang Wu looked tiny beside the 100-meter-long corpse, but his presence felt godlike. His aloof aura made millions gasp in awe. Humanity went delirious for their savior. Success! The life aura is gone. Luo Feng, flying toward Yang Wu's location, watched the blood-soaked corpse on the screen and couldn't restrain his excitement. The beast was dead. The same monster that had driven humanity to despair was finally gone. It felt almost unreal how easily happiness had arrived. With that saber strike, Yang Wu mused, even if the golden horned beast hadn't died, it would have lost half its life. It should count as suppressing it. Why isn't the main mission complete? Optional Mission 2 had required suppressing the golden horned beast, and he had certainly done that. Yang Wu's mouth twitched. Devouring the heavens was Luo Feng's domain. Perhaps major outcomes were aligned to him, while minor ones could be overturned. Does the golden horned beast have to be suppressed by Luo Feng? He thought wryly. Still, Yang Wu shook his head and acted. He knew the core inside the beast's body was the key. Without destroying the core, the creature would not truly die. He seized half of the golden horned beast's carcass and shot upward. The massive body rolled out of the sea like a black, sunken island and hovered above the ocean. Planetary-level powerhouses, top officials of Earth's 5 great powers, the HR Alliance, and the various base cities stared in stunned silence at the scene. Chapter 114, Global Sensation, Main Mission Completed, Subscription Request. At that moment, the scene flashed across screens in every country and organization on Earth. The world fell silent. When viewers saw the golden horned beast's ruined body, a chill ran through them as if their hearts had stopped. It was unbelievable, too extreme to be true. Over the ocean, Yang Wu hovered, dragging the golden horned beast's half-corpse, waiting for Luo Feng to arrive. So strong, the council members muttered, solemn as they watched the black-clad Yang Wu on the feed. High above the sea, Yang Wu's eyes shone with a strange brightness. There was even a hint of joy. Suspended like an emperor surveying his domain, he looked down at the world. Though most only saw him on a screen, everyone lowered their heads. No one dared meet his gaze. Black-clad Hong and the white-robed bald thunder god stared, stunned at the sight of Yang Wu hauling the golden horned beast's carcass. Even with their strength, they were dumbstruck by what he'd done. Truly, a peerless genius, Thunder God said, forcing his voice to sound calm. Yang Wu's display had shaken him. Hong and Thunder God already knew Yang Wu was powerful, but they had not expected his potential to be this terrifying. Before the battle, they had believed themselves superior. Each thought their domain made them at least an even match. After seeing Yang Wu's combat power and his state after breaking through, they realized how wrong they'd been. Hong looked at Yang Wu, remembering the man who once hid his pride but now hung high above the world, and felt something like awe. From now on, who could still call him merely a genius? He was already among Earth's top-tier powerhouses, someone capable of killing an astral-rank golden horned beast. Across the galaxy, Babata watched with a stunned expression. The golden horned beast had been observed closely through special means. More than half its body was destroyed. It should be beyond saving, right? Babata's grief was immediate and enormous. A priceless starry sky beast, one whose value outshone almost anything in the Milky Way, had been ruined before his eyes. He pounded the ground in anguish. In truth, the golden horned beast's soul still clung to its core. It wasn't fully dead, but it dared not recover while Yang Wu remained. Yang Wu knew this and did not leave. He had not yet completed the main quest, which was to suppress the golden horned beast. Not long after, Luo Feng arrived and saw the mountain-like half-corpse of the golden horned beast. He stepped into the still-boiling seawater, wearing his silver-white battle armor. Yang Wu, is the golden horned beast dead? He asked. Maybe not, Babata's voice echoed in Luo Feng's mind. It might still be alive. You're not sure? Isn't life aura undetectable? Luo Feng asked. No, your Earth's life aura detector came from the ruins of a star fleet, Babata explained. It has limits. When a life aura falls below a certain threshold, it can't detect it. The detector's quality now is lower than it used to be. It probably can't pick up anything weaker than an elementary apprentice warrior. This creature's vitality is terrifying. It may not die so easily. And your Earth instruments are too crude to be as accurate as Babata. Babata's voice trembled with excitement and urgency as he looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng, this could change your destiny. Becoming a world lord could be within reach. In Babata's eyes, Yang Wu had been his first choice for possession. But Yang Wu wasn't a psyker master and couldn't obtain a soul imprint, so possession success was uncertain. For Luo Feng, however, who had not yet left Earth, capturing a world lord-ranked being was a legendary chance. Even with Babata's guidance, without such a shortcut, it would take Luo Feng nearly 100,000 years to reach world lord. You mean, Luo Feng faltered. Possession, Babata finished grimly. Possess the golden-horned beast. Luo Feng was stunned. He had cultivated the Yunmo planet's secret method of possession, but he had never imagined possessing an alien creature outside the human race. With his worldview, becoming a monster felt alien. Temptation tugged at him. Becoming a world lord golden-horned beast was no small prize. Still, he hesitated. Yang Wu's laugh drifted through the charged air. The wheels of fate have turned, he said, Hong and Thunder God standing behind him. Having obtained the system and his clone, the golden-horned beast no longer meant much to him. For Luo Feng at this moment, though, it was a pivotal opportunity. Countless future chances depended on this one link. After a pause, Yang Wu drifted closer. I'll give you this opportunity, he said. Luo Feng blinked. But you captured it. I know the Yunmo planet possession method, Yang Wu replied. I could take it, but I've already taken so many opportunities from you. You and I will need to support each other to go further. This one's yours. Luo Feng stood silent for a long time, looking at Yang Wu. Brother Yang, I owe you too much, he finally said. Soon after, Yang Wu received a notification. The optional quest, Suppress the Golden Horned Beast, part of the main mission, could be settled. Chapter 115, The Terrifying Blind Box Rewards and the Golden Horned Luo Feng. Subscribe. You have met the requirements for optional Task 2 of the main mission. Do you want to settle? Settlement complete. Reward, 1 billion days of bronze-level cultivation, talent upgraded to bronze 4. Main mission completed. Yang Wu considered the real prize to be the talent upgrade rather than the billion days of bronze cultivation. Cultivation could be recovered. Talent improvements were irreplaceable. Oh right, the challenge mission gave 3 blind boxes of different tiers. I wonder what's inside, he thought, excitement brightening his eyes. The previous challenge missions had handed out cultivation directly. This time, the rewards would be blind boxes. He had no idea what they contained, but he would find out. Open the primary blind box first. The blind box in the system space activated at his command. Opened primary blind box. Congratulations on obtaining 100 million days of bronze-level cultivation. Yang Wu's face lit up. Cultivation was always welcome. This was equivalent to completing the first stage of the challenge mission, 100 million bronze days right away. Far more generous than earlier rewards. And he still had 2 higher-tier blind boxes left. If this was the baseline, the next 2 could be huge. Open the mid-level blind box. Opened mid-level blind box. Congratulations on obtaining the miraculous keyboard. I want to play Yasuo. Yang Wu stared. He had no idea who Yasuo was supposed to be, but the system's blind boxes were getting weirder. A keyboard? What was he supposed to do with that? System, be serious. Give me something practical, he muttered. He examined the keyboard's description and froze. The miraculous keyboard. I want to play Yasuo. When the keyboard declares you can do something, you can do it, even if you normally can't. If it declares you can't, then you cannot, even if you could otherwise. It can grant one trivial wish. Yang Wu couldn't help laughing. So it was truly a keyboard warrior tool, some kind of reality-bending meme. Still, the wording was clear. For fulfilling a trivial desire, this keyboard could be trusted. What exactly counted as trivial, and what wish he might use it on, he didn't know yet. For the moment, He filed it away as a strange but potentially useful asset. Open the high-level blind box. Opened high-level blind box. Congratulations on obtaining a world tree sapling. Yang Wu's eyes widened. A world tree. Its innate ability to manipulate space and time made it far more terrifying than most spatial energy life forms. A mature world tree could grow to unimaginable proportions. The World Lord rank could reach tens of millions of kilometers in height. If he could one day merge with or awaken such a being after becoming undying, it would be a colossal advantage in terms of divine body and power. The world tree's genetic baseline was also far higher than the current levels of Yang Wu or the golden horned beast. This sapling was an extraordinary treasure. News of Yang Wu's sudden gains spread. Planetary-level powerhouses and Earth's governments saw the golden horned beast's corpse as an unparalleled prize. It was the first astral-rank monster corpse recovered on Earth. Priceless. The golden horned beast's corpse, that's the first astral-rank monster corpse on Earth. It's invaluable. President, our research team has never even obtained a fragment of a beast emperor's corpse. We can't let the golden horned beast's remains slip away. I request negotiations with Yang Wu of the Dojo of Limits to acquire a portion of the beast emperor's corpse. I propose we immediately buy a section of the golden horned beast's remains. We must be the first to study its bone and skin structure. Our HR alliance supplies weapons worldwide. This time, we must develop more powerful weapons and combat suits to seize the high-end market. Representatives from the 5 major powers, the HR alliance, and other factions clamored for access. Historical precedent made their desire understandable. The first king-level monster corps once produced SS-level combat suits and weapons for humanity, and later even SSS-level arms. SSS gear was prohibitively expensive and rare, but the potential breakthroughs from the golden horned beast's corpse could be game-changing, if anyone could study it carefully. But that would not happen. Earth's turmoil subsided, and life returned to a new normal. Humanity turned the page and moved forward. Luo Feng vanished from public view, and most people forgot the name of the golden horned beast, Luo Feng. Inside the beast's carcass, the origin core, a crystal sphere etched with strange golden secret method patterns, glowed faintly as it had before. To the naked eye, nothing seemed different, but something in it had changed. The golden horned beast's original soul was gone. In its place sat Luo Feng's consciousness. I did it. A mental voice announced from within the beast's body. The familiar aura made the identity unmistakable. Luo Feng had taken the golden horned beast for his vessel. Congratulations, Babata said, relief and admiration coloring his tone. How does it feel, seizing the body of a giant beast with one of the peak bloodlines in the universe? Luo Feng felt the beast's vast power flow through him. Much better. I still can't fully control the body yet, but I'm far stronger than I was. Even though I'm only astral rank 1 right now, I feel stronger than ordinary astral rank beings, he added, his eyelids drooping as he collected himself. A body like this carries strength above humans of the same rank. With its innate abilities, taking on higher ranks will be easier. There are also countless inherited memories, Babata added, secret methods suited to a golden horn cultivation path, unique techniques and instincts. The golden horn beast's bloodline was a cosmic peak, a gene level 10 times that of ordinary humans, roughly matching what Yang Wu currently possessed. Even someone who refined blood river crystals and rose to be a black warrior would only be comparable to Yang Wu or the golden horned beast. Among the entire human race, true black warriors were rare. In later stages of cultivation, gene level largely determined one's upper limits. Luo Feng had always known the beast's lineage was powerful, but the moment he completed the seizure, he still felt stunned by the magnitude of the change. I have to say, Yang Wu did right by you, Babata sighed, gratitude in his voice. He had stayed silent before, because he couldn't decide between Yang Wu and Luo Feng regarding the golden horned beast's body. Now there was no longer a choice. Boss, I, Babata, will definitely help you seek revenge, he vowed. Yang Wu has his mysterious chance, and now Luo Feng has this tremendous opportunity. I will guide them both. In time, they will be able to avenge you. A flicker of hope and expectation kindled in Babata's heart as the two threads of fate, Yang Wu's sudden windfalls and Luo Feng's new life in a peak bloodline body, began to weave together. Chapter 116, Grow the World Tree Clone. So seizing a body is this difficult? Luo Feng's consciousness raged inwardly. If not for teacher's soul inheritance imprint, I really wouldn't have succeeded. Bah, don't rush, Babata chided. This chance you have right now is once in a billion years. Be patient. Luo Feng felt a surge of gratitude at that moment. He was grateful to Yang Wu for giving him the opportunity to seize the golden horned beast's body. He was grateful to his master, the Yun Mo Planet Master. The Planet Master had no way of knowing how powerful his future successor would become. Planetary, astral, universe rank. So to be safe, he had created a soul inheritance imprint capable of accommodating the soul of a universe rank level 1 Psyker Master. The imprint looked insignificant, just a small crystal pillar, but it was forged by an undying. When that crystal pill decomposed and flared, its force shattered the golden horned beast's defenses in an instant. They simply were not on the same level. The beast may have had superior quantity, but the imprint's quality was overwhelming. A needle through tofu. Effortless. With the beast's soul breached and Luo Feng's soul supplemented, his power skyrocketed. Luo Feng immediately used the seize the body secret method, devouring vast amounts of the golden horned beast's soul fragments. Devouring was fast. Assimilation took more than a day. Actually, I didn't expect Yang Wu to give this to Luo Feng, Babata muttered. The golden horned beast's value could drive an undying mad, and yet Yang Wu had handed the opportunity to Luo Feng without hesitation. Brother Yang has always taken good care of me, Luo Feng murmured, choked with feeling. With the golden horned beast gone, Earth's crisis was over. Yang Wu, the man who had put Luo Feng in his debt, became a hero to everyone on Earth. Stories of his life spread quickly. At the War God Palace, people celebrated. Yang Wu casually spun a tale to explain Luo Feng's absence, then slipped away and made a few more manipulative arrangements with Luo Feng's family. When all was settled, he found a secluded spot and entered seclusion himself. A golden horned beast's talent secret method could breed 3 clones in a lifetime. One at planetary level, one at universe rank, and a third at world lord rank. Each clone existed independently and cultivated on its own. Yang Wu's life-saving talent, clone, could also produce 3 clones, but without realm restrictions. He could, if he wished, breed all 3 at astral rank. Clones were not mere puppets, but second bodies that had to be nurtured through the inner world, specifically the Dantian space, like a pregnancy. It was comparable to the myth of the universe as an egg that hatched Pangu. The clone started as an embryo in the system space and gradually formed until it was born. Because clones could cultivate independently, the first body produced was crucial, and so was the chosen bloodline. For a golden horned beast, the first clone would usually be of a superior bloodline. The material requirements to form an embryo were low: a hair, a drop of blood. Anything with genetic material would do. Inside his golden finger space, Yang Wu took out the world tree sapling he had obtained from a blind box. One of the world tree's innate abilities was to control time and space within a certain radius. It was far from a universe lord's total mastery of space-time, but as the world tree grew, so would that control. In the original accounts, a universe exalt-level world tree's control of time and space rivaled that of a universe lord. Undying and world lord level world trees were naturally weaker. Yang Wu's sapling was even more modest, but even it, if allowed to exercise control of time and space, could easily crush opponents at that level. World trees dominated by life gene levels. Even a sapling's life gene was thousands of times greater than a human's. Their enormous size and divine bodies meant they stored vast divine power. In a war of attrition, few could outlast a world tree. They also stabilized and strengthened a divine kingdom. In the old stories, Mantu God General of the Elder God cult took a branch from the greatest world tree, planted it in his divine kingdom, and it grew into a giant life tree. That life tree stabilized his divine kingdom and amplified its suppression of intruders. Normally, when a god fought inside his divine kingdom, the kingdom's amplification increased his strength by a few times. With the planted life tree, the combined amplification and suppression could multiply his power by 10 or even 100 times. Relying on that, Mantu God General drew enemies into his domain and slaughtered many of them. The rumor had spread far and wide. That life tree is incredible, Yang Wu thought. A world tree must be even more so. If I could root one in my divine kingdom, it would stabilize and empower my realm beyond measure. He was already thrilled by the mere ability to control time and space. The time-space path was the mainstream route to becoming a universe lord. If he were lucky, he could breed a world tree clone and have it root in his divine kingdom, making that kingdom vast and unshakable. Talent secret method, clone, Yang Wu commanded. The Dantian space trembled. Gene power gushed and swirled, converging frantically. For a moment, the inner world seemed to plunge into an apocalypse. A huge golden sphere formed in the sky of the Dantian space. This was the critical moment. Yang Wu felt the pressure in his chest. The golden sphere shivered violently, like a fire god origin crystal rupturing inside. Explosive noises rolled through the space, bang after bang, a chorus of thuds and crashes. Something was wrong. Yang Wu perceived a shift and his expression tightened, hardening as dread crept in. Chapter 117. Failed? Click here. Change your fate. Yang Wu suddenly felt the enormous pressure of the world tree's life imprint within the golden sphere. The force made the entire Dantian space unbearably tight. Cracks appeared on the golden sphere with a sharp sound, then more and more fissures spread. With a final massive tremor, the sphere shattered, exploding into an endless torrent of gene power that scattered in every direction. Yang Wu stood silent, watching for a long time. It failed. The gestation had failed. He had suspected that trying to gestate a world tree, whose life gene level was thousands of times higher than normal, was almost impossible, but seeing it actually fail left him helpless. It failed. The first incarnation failed. His head buzzed, probably from the recent surge. Even in the worst of his past crises, he had never felt this rattled. Since his rise, he had relentlessly cultivated, climbing ever higher with the help of his golden finger. That was what he trusted most, his system. And now, judging by this failure, the system's golden finger was not omnipotent. It had helped him obtain the talent secret method for incarnation, but it could not guarantee the gestation itself. The world tree clone was crucial, vital to his future development and to his standing in the universe. Like the Undying Exalt. Although Undying Exalt was only a universe exalt, even universe lords did not dare underestimate him because no one had truly killed him to this day. If Yang Wu had a world tree clone, even if other incarnations fell, the enormous divine power provided by the tree could rapidly replenish and restore them. He would possess the same virtually immortal ability as Undying Exalt. Besides, a divine kingdom was a god's greatest vulnerability. With the world tree inside his divine kingdom, the kingdom itself would be strengthened. The world tree was powerful on its own, and its talent secret method, control time and space, combined with the pressure of a divine kingdom, would catapult his strength. Yang Wu felt a spike of unwillingness. This had been the best incarnation choice he could imagine. Then he remembered something. Wait, I got a strange keyboard from an intermediate blind box. His eyes lit up. A thought, and a strange keyboard appeared in his hand. He typed, I want to successfully gestate a world tree clone. Wish granted, your wish has been fulfilled. Goodbye. A voice in his mind replied, and everything vanished. The keyboard, the voice, as if they had never existed. Then the Dantian space trembled again. The peculiar world tree seedling vaporized, leaving only a drop of strange liquid. The gene power in the Dantian space surged violently toward the center, enveloping the drop. In moments, it formed into an oval golden egg. Yang Wu gaped. With one key press, the world had been changed, yet the keyboard was gone. Still, despite the loss, he had forced a success. Thinking of what a world tree clone would mean, his earlier frustration faded. The keyboard could perhaps be obtained again, but missing the tree would have been crippling. Worth it, he decided, and the system was just a brat. Now the real gestation had begun. Yang Wu recalled Luo Feng taking over a year to gestate his earthling clone. The world tree's life gene level was thousands of times that of an ordinary being. The difficulty should be at least 1,000 times greater. He wondered how long it would take. He quickly gained relevant information from his incarnation talent method. Gestation time depends on one's strength and the genes of the body being gestated. The stronger the inner world, the faster the incubation. The lower the genetic threshold, the easier the task. Yang Wu's current life gene level was comparable to a golden horned beast, and his Dantian space was impressive, so his gestation speed would be middling. Some noble races with extraordinary bloodlines might require hundreds or thousands of years, because gestating an incarnation isn't like birthing an ordinary baby. If a World Lord level golden horned beast took a hair from a World Lord human, the body gestated would be World Lord level, genes and body replicated completely. Since it usually takes tens of thousands of years for a World Lord to cultivate, a gestation of a few hundred years would actually be fast. The rule remained: you can't gestate something much stronger than yourself, at best something comparable. He kept watching the golden egg. One day later, the progress data gave him an estimate. Looking at the speed, it should complete in 1 or 2 years, he murmured. He realized he would then have a world tree clone at the same realm and with almost identical genetic material as the original. The only difference would be a tiny, almost imperceptible change. The incarnation was gestated by system space rather than directly by him. It would be nearly impossible to detect that minute variance, even with DNA tests. After another day, his consciousness received the confirmation. Success. All life substances analyzed. True gestation has begun. Yang Wu laughed aloud. The first incarnation was destined to be the world tree clone. Once he became undying, he would possess an endless source of divine power. Even if his true body were destroyed, he could be reborn through the tree, true undying existence. Yet something was odd. Logically, the greater the power and bloodline, the longer the gestation. Luo Feng's Yuhai clone, with a life gene level only 300 times that of a normal being, still needed 600 years. Yang Wu had expected the world tree to need thousands or tens of thousands of years, but the feedback showed only 10 years. He was surprised and pleased. After only 1 day's gestation, the data from the golden egg had revealed the full plan. The world tree, being a special life form, not flesh, not pure energy, nor a regular plant, didn't follow normal life gestation rules. It truly lived up to being top-tier special life and possessed 4 great talent secret methods. The strongest was, of course, control time and space. The other 3 were Thorn Rebound, Incarnation, and Tough Life. Chapter 118, Platinum V World Tree and System Upgrades. Thorn Rebound offsets 99% of the damage from each attack. If the attacker is a warrior, the offset damage is reflected back at the attacker. Tough Life. Life energy recovery efficiency plus 1000%. During combat recovery efficiency plus 1000%. Additionally, for every 1% of life force lost, all recovery efficiencies increase by 1 times, up to a maximum of 100 times. Immune to instant death, will not suffer fatal damage. When life force would drop below 1%, the user gains a special state, death as the wind, always by my side. Instead of dying, they are locked at 1% HP and then recover from near death. Even if the life crystal core is shattered, any remaining fragments can absorb cosmic energy and gradually restore the core. Incarnation. Different from the clone he obtained from the golden horned beast, but easy to understand, like a great tree that naturally sprouts saplings around it. The world tree, as a special life, can willfully grow smaller life trees from itself. Even a detached small branch can become a powerful life tree. As a world tree overflowing with life force, its time and space origin is extremely potent. After casting Incarnation, it can nurture up to 9 incarnations, each no greater than 10% of the main body's strength. Crucially, if the main body dies, an incarnation can recover and become the main body in a short time, relying on the tough life talent. In short, an incarnation is a weakened form of the world tree, a life tree. As for the 10-year gestation period, ordinary people treasure every inch of time, but Yang Wu said time was the one thing he lacked least. Almost there. A flicker of anticipation showed in Yang Wu's eyes. Crack! 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 The already extremely thin, oval golden egg suddenly split, then fell through the air, revealing an incredibly strange black crystal. The crystal was cut into exactly 10,081 facets, each facet engraved with intricate golden secret patterns that were fused seamlessly into the core. This was the world tree's core, the life crystal core. Its surface bore complex golden sigils that faintly glowed. In truth, the original life core could instantly manifest inside Yang Wu's main body or within the world tree itself. Appear. A low shout rippled through the Dantian space. Whoosh! Streams of green life air rushed from the life crystal core and quickly condensed. A world tree took form, 60,000 meters tall, its trunk about 1,200 meters thick, its crown spanning over 100,000 meters in diameter. Even at astral rank first stage, its mass was terrifying, the true embodiment of the universe's top tree-type special life. Talent secret method: control time and space. Manipulating surrounding time and space to a degree is tantamount to a massive boost in power, an overwhelmingly formidable offensive method. The world tree's perception of time and space was crystal clear. It clearly possessed extraordinary time-space talent. Compared to ordinary humans, the world tree's life gene level was astronomical, roughly 3,000 times that of a normal person. Even Yang Wu's main body, with a life gene level on par with a golden horned beast, about 10 times an ordinary person, was vastly inferior to the world tree. Simply casting the same secret method, the world tree's burst strength would be roughly 300 times Yang Wu's. On top of that, control time and space synergized exceptionally well with the world tree. Astral rank first stage, 3,000 times life gene level, plus control time and space, it could wipe out a universe rank first stage with ease. The darling of time and space, Yang Wu murmured, how peculiar. Through the world tree clone, Yang Wu could faintly sense subtle fluctuations in the surrounding time-space. Switch. The world tree clone vanished. Yang Wu reappeared in his earthling body, wearing his black suit and cloud-caressing vine battle armor. He looked around. The earlier extraordinary sense was gone. Everything returned to ordinary Earth and ordinary cosmos. No more acute awareness of cosmic time-space fluctuations. It feels like the world tree is inside the universe's time and space origin, like a fish in water, he thought. Humans swim slower in water than they run on land. Fish on land are painfully slow compared to their movement in water. The analogy fit. The world tree was naturally at home in the time and space origin. Even without any comprehension of time and space origin himself, Yang Wu could see that the world tree's control time and space was several levels above his own. Freakish, he couldn't help but admire. Their natural compatibility with the time and space origin greatly amplifies time-space secret methods, and comprehending time-space laws comes far easier for them than for humans. No wonder the life tree was so valuable, let alone a world tree. But during the talent war, I can only fight using the body provided uniformly by the virtual universe, he reminded himself. I can't use the world tree clone, and even my main body's 10 times life gene advantage disappears. He frowned. A system prompt blinked into being in his mind. Detected host's significant increase in strength, initially possessing self-preservation methods. System begins upgrading. 1% of system upgraded. Host, please check details yourself. Where did my cultivation go? The more than 1 billion cultivation points I put into the system. Yang Wu stared at the system panel, utterly stunned. Race, human, bronze 4. Talent, secret methods, clone folded, abnormal excitement folded. System space, primary blind box, 11, clone, world tree. Race, special life, talent, platinum 5. Talent, secret methods, control time and space, folded. Thorn rebound, folded. Tough life, folded. Incarnation, folded. Cultivation-related functions deleted. Over 1 billion cultivation points have disappeared. Compensation, 11 primary blind boxes. Talent suppression removed. Host will now truly display the terrifying aspects of Bronze 4 talent and the clone's Platinum 5 talent. Shop opening. Shop opened. Shop has everything. The cultivation function is deleted. Yang Wu rubbed his temples. Have you got to be kidding me? Cultivation had been his path to survival in the early stages, and a huge help for the future. Now it had vanished. The shop, when he skimmed it, seemed to contain virtually everything, even the 9 Calamities secret manual that Luo Feng would obtain in the future. But the price tags were astronomical. Just the first stage of the 9 Calamities manual carried at least 8 zeros after its price. Still, he thought, if the world tree clone successfully cultivates the first calamity, its life gene level could reach an estimated 9,000 times. Chapter 119, Horrible Enlightenment and Normal Excitement. As for lifting the talent suppression, I'll try to comprehend the basic 312 forms first. Yang Wu's thought flickered, and a black long saber materialized in his hand. Swish! 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 He moved through the basic 312 forms, tasting each motion. He kept adjusting the force, speed, and angle of his strikes, even refining how he channeled power and coordinated every muscle and bone in his body. The saber's origin force light grew stronger as he alternately frowned, grinned, or fell into silent concentration. After a while, his eyes suddenly brightened. Before, whenever he practiced the basic 312 forms, he always felt an invisible barrier that kept him from touching the essence. Maybe time had been flowing too fast, or maybe his incarnation in the system space wasn't truly real. But now he seemed able to fully control himself. Compared to his previous state, he was in a constant state of enlightenment. Even though both he and his clone shared Bronze 4 aptitude ratings, his current self was already vastly different from his former one. This is amazing, Yang Wu thought, eyes sharp. Is this my true aptitude? The World Tree clone is Platinum 5, clearly far stronger than my true body, but my true body has an advantage. It can keep improving its aptitude. He hadn't yet figured out how to raise the clone's aptitude. Switch. Let the World Tree clone try. The World Tree clone's thought barely surfaced when a burst of saber intent, like a divine inspiration, swept through his mind. Buzz. Light blue branch origin force exploded outward. Saber intent charged with boundless vitality surged forth, fast, unimaginably fast. Yang Wu couldn't even perceive the speed, angle, or force of the World Tree's branch strikes. There was only one impression, rapid. Behind that speed came a saber intent capable of cutting down anyone in the world. Is this Platinum 5 aptitude? Yang Wu's eyes widened in astonishment. He stared at the World Tree's form in stunned disbelief. A tree, merely practicing casually, produced such terrifying saber intent. It was a tree imitating human saber techniques and even human methods of force exertion. He felt his previous life melt away. Bronze 4 suddenly seemed pathetic. If he could master control of time and space and study those laws thoroughly, he could truly become a king-tier invincible. Fully mastering them might even push him straight to Universe Lord, though that was an enormous leap. Even the World Tree in the original story, after living for trillions of eras, only reached Universe Exalt. His World Tree clone was nowhere near that. The human race only had a dozen or so Universe Lords, which showed how rare and difficult that level was. Still, possessing innate talents in the two origin laws, time and space, meant Yang Wu at least had hope of rising to Universe Lord. He took a deep breath and forced down his excitement. He knew that even with talents for the origin laws, comprehending them would be incredibly difficult. For most people, studying time or space alone could consume a lifetime. Studying both simultaneously would be recklessly ambitious. Even a long-lived king-level invincible would be wary of attempting both. Yet Yang Wu had something others didn't, the World Tree clone, with extraordinary comprehension. No one was better suited to study time and space at the same time. Half an hour later, he returned to the study in Mingyue community and began to plan seriously. He decided to study time and space, but he had to allocate his effort carefully. The aptitude gap between my true body and the World Tree clone is huge. 10 years of comprehension for my true body might not equal 1 day of the clone's progress. So I shouldn't have my true body comprehending right now. It's better to have it complete tasks. The contrast between his true body and the clone had left him shaken. His true body had no innate talent for the tenfold laws. Trying to study secret methods now would be twice the work for half the result. Since the clone was so formidable, his true body could afford to lie low, doing ordinary tasks or main quests guaranteed to trigger. Then, when his aptitude rose, he could pick up comprehension and get much more out of it. The World Tree clone should go into seclusion and keep comprehending, he decided, rubbing his temples. Oh, and I need to create a few incarnations and plan for other clones. His talent secret method clone wasn't as restricted as the Golden Horn Beast, so he had to think strategically. Like the World Tree clone, the sooner he used a clone, the sooner he'd benefit. But he couldn't waste clone slots on whimsy. The talent war was approaching, time was tight, and his energy was limited. Ideally, his true body would quickly find suitable genes to spawn new clones, but the problem was, he had no money. Oh, right, After the system upgrade, it gave me 11 primary blind boxes. Yang Wu's eyes lit up. Open primary blind box. The rewards from the previous intermediate and high-level blind boxes had been excellent. He wondered what a primary blind box would contain without any cultivation. Opened primary blind box. Congratulations on obtaining 100 mall coins. That was it? Only 100 mall coins? Thinking about how many mall coins the first calamity of the 9 calamities secret manual required, Yang Wu felt his mood drop. 100 mall coins. What a joke. He bristled. Again! Opened primary blind box. Congratulations on obtaining a primary talent upgrade card. Primary talent upgrade card can upgrade a primary talent to an intermediate talent. Looking over all his talents and the World Tree Clone's abilities, the differences in level were obvious. The World Tree Clone's talent secret method, control time and space, was by far the most powerful. And that minor nuisance, the talent he'd gotten from the Bull King, abnormal excitement, was the lowest level one. If he'd been unlucky, that talent would have been worse than nothing. But with a primary talent upgrade card, at least abnormal excitement could be improved. Primary talent upgrade card. I'll use it. After all, abnormal excitement is still a small trump card. Yang Wu pouted. Used primary talent upgrade card on abnormal excitement. Talent upgraded to normal excitement. Normal excitement. Once activated, the actual power of each of your attacks fluctuates, with damage ranging from 100% to 400% of the base value. Chapter 120. Terrifying potential points and the secret of space and time during normal excitement, stamina, primal power, and so on are consumed at an extra 1000%. Normal excitement? Yang Wu's eyes lit up. What a powerful talent! Take the Golden Horn Beast's talent secret method, enhancement. It only doubles attack strength. But with normal excitement, if the damage multiplier truly ranges randomly from 100% to 400% with equal probability, the average hit is 2.5 times normal. In raw offensive power, normal excitement already outclasses the Golden Horn Beast's enhancement. That ignores luck-based effects, of course. The trade-off is that enhancement doesn't eat physical strength or primal power, whereas normal excitement drastically increases consumption. Both talents have pros and cons, and, in terms of rank, should be comparable, both intermediate talents. Yang Wu was delighted. The primary blind box had produced a strong primary talent upgrade card. This talent would last him for life. Continue. Open primary blind box. Congratulations, you received 88 mall coins. Damn. The mall coins this time weren't even as good as the first blind box's reward, practically meaningless to him. Compared to the second layer blind box, these were trash. Sigh. A long pain is worse than a short one. Open them all, Yang Wu said and kept going. Open primary blind box. Congratulations, you received 188 mall coins. That was about the same as the first 2 mall coin rewards combined. Still not much. Open primary blind box. Congratulations, you received 1 potential point. Potential point. Accumulate 10 to slightly upgrade aptitude. Simple description, but a very useful reward. 10 of these would instantly bump him to Bronze 3. He wasn't sure whether it would bypass an advancement mission. Yang Wu considered it a moment and then shook his head. Even if potential points could skip the advancement trial, he wouldn't use them now. Completing the advancement mission directly increases aptitude, while skipping it would waste a reward that should come from the trial. Open primary blind box. Congratulations, you received 188 mall coins. Open primary blind box. Congratulations, you received 88 mall coins. Open primary blind box. Congratulations, you received 1 potential point. Open primary blind box. Congratulations, you received 2 potential points. 2 potential points. Yang Wu chuckled. His luck was good. Previous boxes that yielded potential points only gave 1. This time a box doubled it. Open primary blind box. Congratulations, you received 188 mall coins. Open primary blind box. Congratulations, you received a mission settlement card. Mission settlement card. Instantly complete any mission of the lowest tier. Huh? Yang Wu's eyes went wide. This card was extremely valuable. If he'd had one for his previous advancement mission, he could have finished the trial instantly. For advancement missions alone, the mission settlement card might be more useful than potential points. It was awkward in other contexts, though. It couldn't be used to clear main missions, challenge missions like the Golden Horn Beast or advanced missions. Still, he'd keep it safe and never waste it on an ordinary or important mission. Counting everything, the blind boxes had yielded a total of 840 mall coins. Judging by mall prices, even a 188 coin payout per primary box was garbage. He immediately used the primary talent upgrade card. Judging by the talent he had just received, that card was indeed valuable. As for potential points, he now had 4, still 6 short of the 10 needed to upgrade directly. The mission settlement card would be kept in reserve. After finishing the blind boxes, Yang Wu shut out distractions, closed his eyes, and searched the secret methods he'd gotten from Babata. Attack secret methods, defense secret methods, movement secret methods, healing secret methods. Each category contained many Undying-level secret methods, all tied to the origin laws: earth, wood, water, fire, metal, space, even light, lightning, wind, and time. It covered most of the 10 great origin laws of the universe. Hu Yambo only reached champion level as an Undying, so his Undying subordinates should be at most Army Lord level, Yang Wu thought. These secret methods aren't the deepest among Undying techniques, but they'll do. Army Lord, Champion, King, those were the 3 tiers of Undying spiritual gods, King being the strongest. Yang Wu opened an attack secret method next, Sky Slicing Blade. The name suggested it was a space-type secret method, though the phrasing was awkward. Sky Slicing felt more like Space Rending Blade. Still, given the level of the method's creator, the name was apt. It could, in theory, cut through the sky. Its comprehension of the space origin law was shallow, but Yang Wu only needed it as a reference for his World Tree clone to learn a space secret method. Previously, he couldn't cultivate such things, but with a terrifying clone available, it would be enough. After scanning and sorting, he grouped the secret methods roughly. 28 were space-related, and 2 were time-related. It seemed Yunmo Planet Master Hu Yambo favored the space origin law, though he had also gathered mainstream time origin law methods without cultivating them himself. Yang Wu chose 2 secret methods to prioritize: 1,000 Changes and 10,000 Transformations, and Endless Blade. 1,000 Changes and 10,000 Transformations wasn't as profound as the future 10,000 Thread Flow that Luo Feng would cultivate. 10,000 Thread Flow belonged to a Psyker Master lineage. 1,000 Changes and 10,000 Transformations had 5 layers. First layer, Phantom Body. Second layer, 9-fold Phantom Body. Third layer, 81 Phantom Body. Fourth layer, 1,000 Changes. Fifth layer, 3,000 Phantom Bodies. The 10,000 Transformations part was more a concept. No cultivation method for it was provided. There were finer time and space secret methods out there, like the Golden Horn Beast's inherited absolute space, but those were specialized and suited only to particular life forms. If he hadn't chosen a clone last time and had instead taken absolute space as a reward, it might have matched his path. But then he wouldn't have conceived a special life form like the World Tree, one with terrifying time and space aptitude. Without such talent, absolute space would be useless to him. Even if he'd obtained it, the main body had no chance to make proper use of it.